Hey, can you guys hear me? Hey, can you
Someone
guys
in the
hear
chat,
me?
please save my
Hey,
life.
can you guys hear me? Hey, can you guys
Someone in the
hear
chat,
me?
please save my
Hey,
life.
can you
Someone
guys
in the
hear
chat,
me?
please save my life.
Okay,
Okay,
cool,
cool,
because
because
I can't hear myself.
someone in the chat, please save my life. Okay,
Awesome.
cool, because
I
okay,
can't hear
cool.
myself.
Wait, there's
I can't hear myself.
awesome.
I
Okay,
don't know what to
cool.
do about
Wait,
that.
there's wait,
Sorry.
there's I don't know what to do about that. I don't know what to
There's
do
two
about
Najas.
that.
Okay, wait.
I
There's
don't know what to
something I
do
need to
about
mute,
that.
and I don't know
I
what
don't
it
know what to
is.
do about that.
Okay,
I don't know
wait.
what to
There's
do
two
about
something
that.
I need
Is
to
it
mute,
still
and I don't
echoing
know
or
what
is
it
it?
is. No, I'm not listening to myself.
You know what?
Wait, there's something I need to mute.
No, I'm not. I shouldn't be.
No, I'm not listening to myself. Okay. Oh my God. There's three of me. Uh, let's see. I knew something like this was going to happen. I'm really not tech savvy, so this is going to be. Maybe if I mute. Let me mute Chrome. Okay. Now am I? Now am I echoing? I just muted Chrome, so there shouldn't be any playback. Okay, so that was it. So it was Chrome playing the stream for me to look at it and me. Okay, all right. Sorry. I should probably do like an official like intro or something. I was actually going to do this with video, but then I realized I needed way more lighting and my living room just doesn't have that. So instead of you looking at me as a dark blur, I just figured we weren't going to do the camera at all until I figure that situation out. So y'all don't get to see my pretty face. Sorry about that. But yeah. Hey guys. Most of you in the chat seem to know me, but my name is Naja. I also go by Blurty Otome. And today I'm streaming When the Night Comes Revamped. The folks at Lunaris Games sent me an early copy of the first two chapters of their game, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And I'm super nervous, so this should be really, really fun. Is there anything else I should be saying? Like, for real? Oh my god. Let's see. I'm also, this is my first time doing this, so forgive me if I do something wonky. Please let me know if you can't hear me or if something starts going haywire, and I'll try to fix it, or y'all can help me by walking me through it. Thanks, thanks Hazel, thank you, because nervous as hell. I should probably give a bio of what When the Night Comes is about, because that makes more sense. So, When the Night Comes is an indie LGBTQ plus BIPOC visual novel by the indie dev Lunaris Games. It's a supernatural fantasy game where you play as a renowned hunter. These are people who hunt various creatures like vampires, werewolves, and things. And you are called into this village that's been having a string of murders, and you're there to help investigate and figure out what's going on. And along the way, you meet a couple of other supernatural beings. There's a demon, there's a lichen, a vampire, some not wizards, magicians, and you just get to know them, and you work with them to solve these crimes that are going on. You also get to learn a little bit about their respective cultures and their worlds, and it's a really immersive story. It was first released in 2018, I think. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm terrible with dates. And it was released episodically with new chapters coming out every 4 weeks. And I played it on a whim. This was my first game by the company, by the dev, and it was like, I like supernatural romances. I figured, why not? So I started playing, and then I realized it was episodic. And I don't like ongoing series. I really, really, really hate waiting. I like instant gratification. But the story was just so good, and I got so invested in these characters and what was going on that I kept coming back every 4 weeks. And anyone that knows me knows I hate cliffhangers. So every week, every 4 weeks, I was just like another cliffhanger, another cliffhanger. And what I really like about this game is you can romance the characters that you meet, but the game also allows for polyamorous routes where you can romance two characters at a time. I believe there are two polyamorous routes. One with a character named Omen. They are a demon, and ooh, you know what? I have the page up. I don't know why I'm trying to guess. um, yeah, Omen and Alcar are one of the polyamorous routes, and then the second is Ezra and Finn. If I'm getting this correct, please, chat. Anyone who's played the game, if you know I'm wrong, please let me know. But I like this because a lot of times when you see polyamorous routes in these types of games, they're highly fetishized. But Lunaris Games really goes to great pains to make this a natural relationship between you and both characters that you can romance. So it feels more like a partnership between all of them. I was right, cool. But this revamped version has a lot of nice new updates, including voice acting. There's full voice acting with a full English cast, and Lunaris Games has been dropping like little clips, little snippets of them on their Twitter account leading up to the launch, and they've been teasing us. I played a bit of this earlier, and I heard one of the characters talk, and I had to stop the game. I lost it because it was just so good. All the voice acting is really good in this game, and they've updated the artwork. I believe they've added some additional scenarios as well, and they've really streamlined the game as a whole. So I'm really excited to, give it a try. Hey, X-Plays, thank you for joining. Oh, now I'm really quiet. I guess I got away from the mic. Sorry. Thanks for telling me, Jill. Is my sound okay? I'm going to say that an awful lot because this is a test. I just want to know. I need reassurance from you guys. Where's my game? I'm also doing this on a single screen, so there's like 10 windows up right now that I'm like flitting between, so let me know. Oh my god. Okay. Can you guys hear the game, or is it too low? I can't hear anything. Literally, my mic is off, or my headset was off. Okay, so we'll leave the voice volume where it is. Okay, I really like the music. I don't remember if there was music like this in the original version of the game, but I really like the music. I sat here for a minute when I first tried this out, just kind of vibe into the music. Oh, so the music's still a bit louder. Got it. All right, let me turn it down just a bit. Okay, is that better? Okay, sweet. Sorry. It's okay, so I just know to keep the volume lower than I think I need it. It's fine. I'll figure it out later. All right, so we're gonna start this from the beginning. Okay. So, fun story. When I play games where I have to name the character, I don't use my government name. I used it once when I was playing this Voltage game called Office Secrets. I put my whole government name in there. Yeah. I put my whole government name in there. I said, Naja. And one of the love interests that I was pursuing literally said, "I love you, Naja," and it weirded me out. It took me completely out of the game. I was totally turned off because I was like, I don't know you. I played this game, you know, I'm interacting with this character off and on, but it was just so weird to have a fictional character call me by my name and say that they love me because I didn't know them and there was no real like physical attraction. So I was so weirded out. I turned it off. I changed the name, so I never use my name in. The game is good. That game is really good. It was just really weird for them to say, "I love you, Naja, and you're the only one for me, Vexon," and I was just like, I don't know you, sir. Have we met? Who are you? Why are we doing this? So whenever I play a game where I have to name the character, I always use the name that I use when I tell guys that I don't want them to know my government name. So yeah, it was like so weird. So I always use Nicole for the first name and Brown, any of those poor saps that I gave the fake name to, sorry. Because it's close enough to my name that I remember it and it's believable. What I like about Lunaris Games is they allow you to choose your pronouns. They have largely, what's it called? So they have faceless MC so that you can self-insert yourself into the game. So you never actually see the MC in the game. You never get a sprite for them. So it's completely whatever you want it to be or whatever you want them to be. I usually go with my own gender pronouns, which is she, her, because it's simple for me. But I've played some other games where they're MC customizations where you can play around with those pronouns along with the appearance, and I think it's really fun and it's a great feature to have. That way it's more inclusive for more players. Everybody feels like they're included in the story and they can feel like this is their own adventure that they're building. Yes, yeah, they're awesome about this. Like this company is really good about having really good representation both for BIPOC and LGBTQ+. So like they're always my go-to when someone's saying I'm looking for a game that has a lot of really great inclusion. I'm like, play one of Lunaris Games' titles. When the Night Comes, Errant Kingdom, they've got that new one coming out, Call Me Under, which looks awesome. I want it like yesterday. So yeah, always if you're looking for good rep, this is the dev to go with. So I'm gonna stop talking and pick my pronouns. I also should have asked this before, but since some of the lines are voiced, I'm not going to read the voice lines. Oh yeah, this is like, so this is the letter we get. You have been selected for immediate transfer and are authorized to report to Enforcement Headquarters in Lunaris Games. Please find your mission information and all other relevant documents enclosed. Once the information has been digested, we order that the documents are properly destroyed. This is like some Mission Impossible shit. This information is highly classified, as are all details of your relocation. Upon arrival, please report to General Augustus Wilhelm, respectfully, Lieutenant General Harold Addingtom III. The first time I played this, I didn't realize that this was on like auto, so I didn't read through the letter fast enough, and it was gone, and I had to go back and replay. So that's why I read it that fast. Sorry, guys. Yes, new letter. Like I said, there are new graphics in this game, and it looks fantastic. Though this text is a little hard for me to read. I arrive in Lunaris at dusk. I've been traveling for days. My feet are sore, my eyes tired, and all I can think about is how much I need a damn good sleep, yo. That's so real. After a long ass day of work, you just kind of want to go to sleep, not work. I'm a hunter, and I've been called here by the Lieutenant General of Ascaria to lead an investigation. The matter is apparently urgent if the rapid way in which I've been summoned is anything to go by. The things that you hear about in ghost stories and fables are all real, and it's my duty, my purpose, to protect humanity from those creatures that go bump in the night. There have been a series of particularly violent murders here in Lunaris lately, and the local enforcers, the agency that oversees us, can't seem to put their finger on who or what is the culprit. I was the most skilled hunter general in the previous town. Yeah, okay. I was assigned to, but I eagerly welcome the change of scenery. Also, in advance, I'm really bad at pronouncing certain foreign words and names, so if I butcher something, forgive me. It's the American in me. I can't help it. Just forewarning. Even if it does involve murder and a healthy dose of existential dread, though, as I sink further into the town, the feeling that washes over me is making me wonder if I made the right choice. As if I even really had one at all. Our lives are bound, and I live to serve. As hunters, we're the only ones equipped to deal with such monstrosities. Hey, welcome! We are playing When the Night Comes ReVamped. This is an early sneak peek of the first 2 chapters. We're gonna try to get through these. I worked all day, so I'm a little tired, so hopefully we can get through that. Plucked from our families at a young age, we're told that we hold an incredibly rare talent, not only in passing the secretive initiation that gifts us with keen senses and empathetic skills, but also in possessing the mental fortitude, intellect, and obedience necessary to ensure our effectiveness and loyalty. I steel myself and wander aimlessly through the unusually narrow streets, unable to focus on much else other than the thought of a warm meal and a comfy bed. The only thing that distracts me from such thoughts is the way the sky begins to turn an inky, infinite black. I love the writing in here. It's really descriptive. It's like reading a book, except out loud. Wisps of mist swirl around my ankles, seeping out from every crack and crevice. Flickers of magic are present within the smoky tendrils, and I can't help but wonder if my mind is playing tricks on me. I turn a sharp corner and I see people running, scooping up small children, scrambling to get inside. I hear the sound of doors slamming and locking, echoing off the crooked stonework. Curtains are drawn, windows are closed, and then darkness, the abnormal kind. Although the stars are shining brightly at a glance, and the crescent moon hangs low, neither offer much light. It's unsettling, to say the least. A chill rolls down my spine, and I walk faster, my sore feet continuing their protest. The instincts that have been part of me since my initiation kicked in, and I have a feeling deep in the pit of my stomach that I need to get inside, and fast. I spot a mage light lantern. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. I spot a mage light lantern as I head further down the street. The dull blue flame flickers invitingly in the darkness, drawing me in. I push the weathered wooden door open, and the light tinkle of the bell that hangs above my head announces my presence. It's empty, only very dimly lit by a few worn-down candles. The shelves are stocked with curious trinkets and jars of strange-looking ingredients and potions, and an apparently endless collection of dusty old books line the walls. It smells faintly of incense, and a little of, is that ozone? Yes, like the way the air smells just before a storm. Now, if this wasn't in here, I probably would not have known what that was right off the bat. I can't with you, Jill. Like lightning, I hear footsteps and turn to find their owner, and I'm taken aback by the figure that appears from behind a pair of well-placed curtains.
I was just closing up, but can I help you?
Sorry, that was an ungentle squeal. I love Ezra. Wide eyes burn into me, brighter than the clearest of emeralds. His aura feels distinctly magical, and I'm very aware that I'm looking at a witch, a powerful one at that. I love this character so much. I love them so much. Oh my god. I love the updated art, but the voice is just so perfect. Right? The voice acting is so good. Sorry. Yeah, they're probably gonna hear me like squeal unnaturally. Sorry. Sorry in advance. I'm sorry to intrude, but I appear to be a little lost. I'm looking for the tavern. His gaze falls to my weapons and my stash. His cheeks darken as realization apparently sets in.
Are you the new hunter?
Oh my god, it's like so awesome. I offer him a wry smile. Is it that obvious? He returns my smile, and I can't help but feel welcome. At home, even. Yeah. Me too. Just curl up in his arms. Just be done.
Oh, just a little. It's lovely to meet you. The town has been alight with gossip about you this week, you know. My name is Ezra, by the way.
Hello, Ezra. I'm Nicole. It's nice to meet you, Ezra.
Did anyone happen to tell you not to wander the streets when darkness falls? As capable as I'm sure you are, it's not advised. Especially these days.
Oh, and there's blinking animation, too. I didn't realize that. I don't know if that was in there the first time. Most sprites in visual novels tend to be pretty static. Some of the newer ones have been really good about adding some motion, blinking eyes, movement of hair, sometimes the breathing animation for some of the Unity games. So this is definitely a nice touch. Oh yeah, so we've got we've got someone from Lunaris here in the chat. So this is a new feature, and I do approve. I love it. It makes him feel more human. I shake my head, still a little out of sorts from the long journey. Then, much to my embarrassment, my stomach decides to grumble loudly. Oh, hey Chris! I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to be like, hey, and I was wrong, because that would be so awkward. I'm recording this for later. Yes, definitely the lighting on here is really good. I don't remember if that was there. I know that I remember it being like lighter than the rest of the backgrounds, but I don't know if there was that extra added glow. It does give a nice ethereal feeling to the rest of the backgrounds. Really nice, colorful. How rude of me. You must be starving. Take a seat in the back room and I'll quickly fix you something up. I was gonna try to do like different voices, but I don't think y'all really want to hear me do that. It's awkward. It's not good at the best of times. You really don't have to do that. I'd better be on my...
You'll do no such thing. It's too dangerous out there. Please, I insist. It's no trouble, really.
See, when someone this good looking recommends that you stay at their place, you just say yes. See, this is why I shouldn't be in otome games or romance games. I would just jump on everybody. I'd be like, yes, please. You want me to stay at your house? Cool. Okay. Where's my bed? Can I sleep in yours? I can hardly refuse when he's looking at me like that. No, we can't. We just can't. Look at him. So pretty. So pretty. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Hazel. I'm trying. We'll see how this goes. I nod and follow him as he parts the curtains to reveal a cozy living space. There's a small kitchenette with a crooked dining table, and nestled in the corner is a tattered but comfy-looking sofa. Ezra fills an old steel kettle and pops it on the stove, igniting the stubborn burner with a grunt before he turns and offers me a smile.
I'm just going to pop upstairs and get you some blankets. I really do insist you stay until morning. You must be exhausted, and I'd hate to send you out into the darkness knowing...
I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay here with you. Get the blankets. We can share. He pauses, stopping himself.
Just wait here, and please, make yourself comfortable.
See, my ass would literally be like laid out on his couch, just just laying on the couch, like that scene in Titanic, where she's like, paint me like one of your French girls. That would have been me on his couch, waiting for them to get back downstairs. Not gonna lie. I can think of nothing worse than even walking across the street right now, let alone across town. So I swallow a polite protest. I would not be protesting. No need to convince me. I would just be there. Let me stay with you forever. I'm not leaving your side. It's cool. Take me on as your apprentice. It's terrible. Thank you, Ezra. He disappears up a narrow staircase, and my curiosity instantly gets the better of me. A solitary candle burns upon the countertop, colorful, magical little lights hanging from various picture frames and shelves, as well as an abundance of luscious green plants. Oh yeah, no, I'm living here. That's it. It's perfect. It's utterly enchanting, just like its owner. See? See? The MC gets it. They get it. And obviously very well loved. He's about to be well loved in a minute. Like, just come back downstairs. There are generous amounts of personal belongings and keepsakes littering every possible nook, and I eye a tiny dish that's overflowing with brightly colored jewelry. Beside it sits a pile of crumpled parchment. Some of the pages are covered in an elegant looping script, and others are filled with lovingly rendered portraits. I tentatively reach for one of the sketches at the top of the pile, but a loud creak startles me. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what would happen. Which side of the bed is mine? Where can I sleep? You know, we could just cuddle up. It's cool. It's cool. Fine. We don't even need a blanket. Just wrap your arms around me. It's fine. It's perfect. I turn, as alert as I've always been taught to be, as my fingers edge toward my weapon. The hairs on the back of my neck stand to attention, and I immediately know that there's a creature nearby. Oh, that's when I see them. A pair of glowing, fierce golden eyes peeking up at me from a previously hidden hatch in the floorboards. Oh my god, I forgot about the scene. Before I could even think about defending myself. Ah! Oh my god, I love the art so much. This updated art is perfect. You can literally see every chiseled feature of his chest and the little hairs there too. Like, this is breathtaking. And the little glares from his golden eyes, just bless y'all. Bless y'all. This is what I'm going to make my new phone screen cap, like my phone wallpaper at some point, because them eyes though, right? Them eyes. Oh my god, so beautiful. Maybe we should just, hold on, let me see if I can do this without, fucking.
Who the hell are you? Where is Ezra?
Oh my god, it's so gruff and gravelly and just like, oh, like I felt that. I felt the shivers. I can't. Okay, let me see if I can do this without like fucking my life up. Because I just want to look at him for a minute. I just want to look at him for a minute. Sorry guys. I need to look. Hello. Just, let's all admire for a moment. Just like admire. Just beauty, perfection. All right. Sorry guys. And now back to the street. His lips curl into a snarl, affording me what feels like an incredibly pointed view of a set of long, sharp fangs. And he's like, oh my god, he's like biting his lip too. God. See, this is why I don't play games in front of people, because I'm literally thirsting over characters for about 20 minutes, which is why my Steam library says how long I play a game, and it's usually like triple digits, because all I do is stare at the characters for way too long, and then like next thing I know, it's like, you've been playing for 100 hours, and I'm only on the prologue. This is my problem. Okay. If I hadn't already clocked his deathly pallor, there'd be no second guessing what kind of creature I'm dealing with here. Okay, I'm not alone. Thank you guys. I feel better. I feel so much better now. Vampire. Oh my god, this is like Twilight. It's like, say it. Vampire. All we need is like trees. And like a pale Bella just in the corner. Maybe somebody should edit that. Exactly. Pale white, ice cold, vampire. And he's got the golden eyes too. He's just recently fed, so he's Twilight vampire. Just needs sparkles. I know I'd already been quite. I know I'd already be quite dead if that was what he truly wanted, and I feel nothing from him other than an overwhelming desire to protect something or someone. Oh snap! We got between him and his boo. I'm okay. I'm okay with sharing. Totally okay with sharing. Totally. Yes, the piercing too. Ah, everything is perfect. His aura is panicked but distinctly non-threatening, so I decide to relax against his hold. I cautiously raise my hands in surrender in the hopes that he'll stand down. We're not taught to harm creatures who have no intent on harming us. It isn't what we stand for, at least not the honorable hunters. Plus, vampires are the closest things there is to humans in the demonology handbook, and I've met a few reasonable ones in my time. So, this is when I bring this up. So, I discovered this. There's actually a codex this time around for all of the information that you pick up throughout the game that you might not inherently know. And it's extensive. Like, it's designed like an old tome and extensive. Like, love and thought went into all of these entries. They are not short, and I appreciate that. I know at one point the team was putting this information up on their Patreon and on their Tumblr account, so it's really nice. Yeah, Pokedex for cuties. I love that. I'm totally gonna use that. So I really like having this codex here now because there's a lot of rich lore and history with the story, a lot of great world building that is not inherent in the actual story. So it's nice to have that further background and development for the game as a whole. I'm not gonna read this novel. This is not gonna happen. But I wanted to bring that up because I remembered seeing it earlier, and I thought it was really nice to add that. It was really good. There's like 1, 2, 5, 6 entries right now, which I'm assuming is gonna be more later. Oh wait, there's a little arrow there. Look at that. Oh my god, it keeps going. I take it back. I take it back. There's so much here. Oh my god, there's like 3 pages. Okay, we're not gonna read that right now. So there are 20 plus entries in total with multiple pages. So if you want some bedtime reading about these critters we about to run into, this is where you do it. But that's a nifty feature that was not in the original release that I wanted to. Some are thirsty. Which ones? Like just drop it in the chat which ones so I can know, or DM me later. Either way, I just for science. I just want to know for science. Oh, see, talk dirty to me. Backstories. Okay. All right. I just gotta cool my tits until the full version is out. Then I suppose I guess I could be patient. Gallery is here. You can select which characters. We have not seen anything for August, so I don't know why I clicked at them. So we have the CG for Finn, and there it is in all its full glory. It's beautiful. Look at that. Because the slow pan during the game doesn't really give you the full scope of the character, so I like that I can see the whole thing, and they're perfectly sized for screen wallpapers for your cell phone or your mobile device. Just so you guys know. Or if you want to print one off and put it on a body pillow. Ooh, that's right. Lunaris Games had body pillows at one point. I don't know if they still do, but they had body pillows of the characters. Instead of me saying make your own, buy them. Go to their store. Buy them. Oh, soon. Let me know. Because they're, I'm always down for a very nice body pillow. I actually have one. It is a Levy Aaron body pillow that I got at Katsucon like 500 years ago, back when, before time when we could actually go outside and see people and be real people. And I love it. I kind of hide it when people come to visit, but it's prominently displayed on my futon. Oh, they also have them for the poly routes as well. It's like 5. And let's see. And there are mini stories, which we have not unlocked yet. Are these the festival stories like we saw in the episodic version? Because I know when you played it episodically, there were some kind of aside stories where you did like different activities. Like there was a festival early on that you could participate in. Is that what these mini stories are? Are these additional stories that have been added specifically for the revamped version? Hold on, I'm sorry. I saw wedding. So let's see, in the chat, Lunaris Games, or Chris is saying that it's the post-game ones, Halloween, weddings, etc. So we get wedding endings, y'all. Weddings. I can marry these folks. That's all I ever want. That's why I play Voltage games, because I can marry those guys. Most of Otome games is like, oh yeah, you got them. Happy New Year. But marriage, absolutely. Yes, please. Okay. We learned something new. Yes. I remember like the first guy I married in a Voltage game was Shiki from 10 Days with My Devil. And I just remember, first off, Shiki is just like the worst character to try to romance. He doesn't like to do anything. He's just kind of like, I hate everybody. I hate everything. The only thing he cared about was like collecting his little figurines from like they're like Cracker Jack prizes, and he like go to the convenience store and buy them to get the little prizes, and he loved them. But at the end of his story, like it was like 3 sequels in, you could marry him, and it was like this big epic thing because he's like second in line for the demon throne, and you marry him, and it's like a really cute wedding. It's really sweet. And then Takuto from Love Letter from Thief X, his wedding earned. He's an asshole. He's an absolute asshole. So getting him to soften up and actually say he loves you and then marry you, I earned that happy ending. That was the one where I was like, I earned this shit. I'm sorry. That was my little a little aside. Back to our stream. For real. Yeah. Okay, we already got this. Emphasis on a few. Oh, see, it says we unlocked a Codex entry. He retreats a little, just as I'd hoped, just enough for me to gather my composure. Tell him Ezra is safe, ask him who he is. Naturally, I'd be like, who the F are you? But he's hot, and he's a vampire, and he could probably kill me. So we're just gonna go with, your boo is safe. Ezra is fine, I swear it. Those bright, disarming eyes burn into my own, a chill skittering over my skin. Whew. God, he's so pretty. He looks like he's searching for something, his dark brows twitching as he studies my face, a thick scar cutting through the one on his right. Oh. Yes. Oh my god, Castiel from my Candy Love. Oh my god, it was eons since I played that. I love Castiel. He was just like jerk bad boy rocker. He's just, I picked him first. I didn't pick anybody else because at the time there were 3 characters, and he was the one that I was just like, I want him. Forget the other guys. I think Nathan was the other guy. It was Nathan, Castiel, and there was one other guy, but I can't remember their name. Doesn't matter. They weren't important. And Nathan had that annoying sister, and I was just like, I can't deal with somebody who can't handle their sister. Something that looks a lot like relief settles upon his face. I can't help but wonder what a vampire is doing sneaking into Ezra's home at this hour. I know what he's doing sneaking into his home at midnight. It's a booty call. Swiggity spooty, he's here for the booty. That's the only reason to come in. But, you know. Maybe he's just here to have some tea.
If you're playing tricks on me, I'll have your head. Understand?
I didn't catch the accent the first time when he was like growling at me, but yes. Accents, always, absolutely. Just glasses are just like one-way ticket to my heart. I don't need anything else. I nod once, my hands still raised, where he can see them. I mean him no harm. True. I'm not lying. He's safe. He's upstairs. I tip my chin towards the staircase in the hope that he'll use his head and seek Ezra out with those impressive senses of his. I love it. He takes a step back, but he still doesn't seem to trust me. I don't entirely blame him. I know how he feels. True. The sound of the kettle whistling as it comes to a boil distracts him, and he visibly relaxes. His gaze quickly darts to the staircase, then back to me. He steps back, the candlelight illuminating his angular face, all sharp lines and hair, his black as the night. He's otherworldly, obviously attractive in that tall, dark, and dead way. I love that. Attractive in that tall, dark, and dead way. Exactly. And his left arm is missing from the shoulder down. He got battle scars too. Like, this man is perfect. In his place is an advanced-looking prosthetic, overflowing with what looks like incredibly advanced magic. He catches me looking at it and quirks that scarred brow. Oh,
Like what you see?
Yes.
Sorry. It's not for sale.
What? Who said I was gonna buy you, sir? Woo you with my womanly wiles. I don't need money. Ezra appears from upstairs, his eyes wide as he surveys the sight before him. I just want a minute to look at the two of them together. It's nice. It's wholesome.
Finn? What are you doing here?
Iron fingers curl around Ezra's forearm, almost as though he's just checking he's real. His prosthetic thrums brightly as if it's responding to the touch. Okay. I sensed that you felt uneasy. I came immediately. Sorry, God. I am a child. I'm sorry. I am a child. I am a child. So sorry. Adult voice. I sensed that she felt unease, so I came immediately. Are you okay? Ezra smiles, covering Finn's hand with his own to gently pat it, a reassuring gesture. The intricate patterns etched into the dark iron pulse like a heartbeat. I was only very briefly startled by the appearance of our new friend here. He's like, right? True. Finn turns to me and dips his head in an apology. You done growled at me. You done got into a defensive stance over your mate. It's cool. I get it. I'd protect the cutie too.
I'm sorry about that less than savory introduction, Hunter. Things are a little on edge here lately.
Yeah, he's whipped. I'd never have guessed. I should say that more sarcastically. You don't say, sir. You don't say. Oh, he laughed. Ah, they laugh. Ezra shakes his head, clearly amused by my sarcasm. I love it.
I'm fine. You really don't need to jump every stranger that passes this way.
So he just jumping strangers now too? I'm sorry. I just noticed this. I'm looking at the background. Is this a picture of Ezra right here? Like him using magic? Is this like an early sketch? Because if it is, that's a nice little Easter egg. It's cute. I just saw the painting and I was like, it's like those YouTubers have pictures of themselves in the background of their videos. That final reassurance seems to make the tension melt from Finn's broad shoulders. Good. Sorry, Nicole. You don't need to be alarmed. He's an ally. I swear it. Also, for anybody new who joined, we are playing When the Night Comes ReVamped. This is going to be the first 2 chapters of the game. Some updates to the old version with some voice acting, updated art, some nice new features. We're just chilling out here. This is my first stream, so we're just having fun. Y'all let me know if y'all can't hear me or something goes wonky, and I will do my best to try and fix it. Though, bear with me, not tech savvy. Even if he doesn't give the best first impression. That's true. I mean, he did. Like, his body is the best first impression. Just all of it. Every chiseled feature. Did we get a shirtless pic? Like, of him just, like, shirtless in these first 2 chapters? You know, for science. I'm asking for a friend. And the friend is me. Definitely for science. Finn offers me a genuine, almost soft smile, but he looks guilty. As he should, I suppose. Yeah, you growled at me, sir. He should be guilty. Apologize. I catch Ezra eyeing me warily, clearly sensing my apprehension. It isn't like it's every night you find yourself in a magic shop staring at a witch and an apparently friendly vampire. Very true. Sounds like a really bad joke. Yeah, I'm the friend. I'm always the friend. Finn's whole demeanor changed the second he laid eyes on Ezra, and I feel any final traces of fear melting away as he steps forward and offers me his hand. Yeah, see, he's whipped. Boo got him whipped. And I love it. The smile that crosses his lips is mischievous, and cold fingers grip my own in a firm handshake when I reach for him. See, I wouldn't be reaching for his hand.
It's truly a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, too. My eyes are literally on his chest. Like, I'm not even looking at his face. Full disclosure. His pretty eyes brush over me like a caress, his pupils dilating, and I feel myself swaying, leaning towards him, almost unconsciously. Yeah, me too. I'm like literally 2 inches away from my screen. Like, like I'm about to headbutt my screen right now. I'm sorry. The whispering scared the shit out of me. Like, shitless. And it's coming through my headset, so it's like alternating between which side of the headset it's coming out of, so it was equally terrifying. Good. Nice touch. nice immersive touch there. There's a soft whisper of muffled thoughts echoing in my mind, and I can't quite tell if they belong to me or him. It's soothing, and whatever he's doing grants me the foresight to see that he most certainly is harmless, that he bears no ill will towards me. No, that was terrifying. That wasn't soothing at all. I don't care what the text says. Me hearing weird whispers is never, ever going to be oh yeah, that's great. He's totally safe. Nah, it's terrifying. Eyes up here. No. My eyes stay on the chest. And that delightful mark that's there, you know, each little chest hair there. Just the way his shirt is open ever so slightly. That one lock of hair that just hangs there between his eyes. You know, it's the important stuff. Something tells me he now sees I'm harmless too. He just like scrapped me. I don't approve. This is not dramatical murder. Don't be mind stuff with me.
Finnegan, stop that. It's not polite.
Thank you, Ezra. Hey, look at the blush. He's so cute. Finn closes his eyes briefly, breaking whatever connection he created with me, and he offers me a killer smile. But literally, shit, those fangs are really no joke. He must be pushing that last 5 centuries. At least 5 centuries. Wait, so size does matter. Hey, Tavern! Thanks for stopping by. Right, the voices are so on point. And can we see the fangs again? Because I want to see these 5 centuries worth of length. Like, how long is it? Oh, so 5 centuries is like really long. How much is 10? Does size matter? Just, you know, questions, thoughts I've had. I've heard of vampires enthralling their victims before a kill, but that felt more like a request to be understood, like he wanted to show me he can be trusted. Aww. Size does matter. It does. He exchanges an almost sheepish, knowing glance with Ezra, and I quickly feel my mind clearing itself. It's interesting to see such a powerful creature wither under a witch's gaze. No, it's not just a witch's gaze, it's Ezra. That's his boo. His boo was like, "Bae, stop. Stop playing with your food. Not today." Hey, welcome. Sorry, I'm just checking. Okay, sure. He looks at me and our eyes lock. I nod once, appreciating that he cared enough to put me at ease. Then he's grinning again, wickedly. God, I love the way that sounds, wickedly. Woof, hello. He looks so harmless when he smiles. I hope he didn't hear anything untoward in there. So if he's reading my mind, he is absolutely hearing so many dirty thoughts, and I apologize in advance. I apologize in advance. There's so much in there right now. And if this text box wasn't in the way, it'd be perfect. But here we are. Text boxes, they're there for a reason, I suppose. Ezra knows too. Ezra's like, anyway, so about this tea. Me, yeah, definitely. Ezra fusses with the kettle, pouring me a cup of fragrant tea and offering it to me on a pretty floral saucer. That's so sweet. He invites me into his home, gives me tea. This is the perfect character right here. I love me some tea. I hate coffee, but tea, absolutely. Any tea. Earl Grey, English breakfast, rooibos. Give me a green tea with a hint of ginger and lemon. I like this. Here, this will help you get a good night's sleep. This is probably a testament to how many yandere routes I've played, but anytime somebody offers me anything in a cup and says, "Here, this will help you get a good night's sleep," my yandere senses start tingling, like they start flashing, red flags all over the place. It's like, card on the play. Do not drink it. Throw it away. Throw it away. There's nothing good in that cup. Don't drink it. I know Ezra's a sweetheart, but after Toma and what's his name, Renji from Diabolic Lovers, or Reiji from Diabolic Lovers, anybody who hands me a cup of tea and is like, "Here, it'll help you sleep." No, I end up in a cage. Watch me wake up in a dog cage somewhere. This is not that game, but watch me wake up in a dog cage. Any other game, any other Otome game, and I'd be in a dog cage right now. I mean, that cage cake. I don't know about that. I don't knock cakes, but my yandere senses are tingling. I take the cup with a nod, both of them staring intently as I take it. No, see right here. They're watching me drink this. Clearly, there is something in this cup that is going to knock my ass out. I don't feel comfortable with this. I love them both, but I don't feel comfortable. I don't know them well enough. Exactly, sweet words and tea, and that's how I end up in. It's like one of those voiceovers, and this is how I ended up in the dog cage. Just can't. It's good, refreshing, and exactly what I need. What I need is them shirtless on a bed. Ooh, wait, there's so one of the Voltage games is on sale. Oh, that's right. I got a notification about that. Voltage is having one of their big annual sales where like all their titles are on sale, like stupid sale. So if you've ever wanted to get a Voltage game on mobile, now is the time to do it. I don't know if they're doing it for their Switch games. But yeah, Voltage is good about those sales. That's when you get the Voltage games on sale, never full price. So, Nicole, are you looking forward to becoming part of this? Shh. Oh my God. Ezra kicked him under the table. Ezra elbows him in the ribs, throwing him a stern warning glance, and Finn flinches, a little too dramatically for a big scary creature. Aw. I like how he does that for his bae. That didn't hurt, but I'm gonna pretend like it did for you. Lovely town.
Do you have any idea what you've gotten yourself into?
Nope, not at all. Is it really that bad? I like a little adventure. Let's go with I like a little adventure. usually when I first play my games, I just kind of I like freeballing it. I don't use guides for the first playthrough because I really want to get a sense of the game and the story and the characters and how my choices affect the narrative moving forward. It's only after that first playthrough, and I usually get like the normal end or the bad ending, that I go back and find a guide somewhere and then I bang it through. Um, Usually, me free playing either lands me the normal ending, or the neutral kind of ending. I've had a handful of times where I've gotten a bad ending because of it, and the bad endings scare me. But yeah, normally I get the normal ending. I'm normally pretty good about shooting for the middle. Never a good ending though. I'm not that good. Ezra looks defeated, but strangely optimistic. Okay. I hope my words sound honest because I really have little choice. I have to help. It's my job. See, yeah, I like my job, but I'm not about to put myself in danger for this. All right. See you, Janae. Thanks for stopping by. My duty. Well, you certainly seem capable enough. Okay. Finn grimaces, exchanging a strange look with Ezra, and I feel like they're not telling me something. Oh, snap. Stop that. Stop doing that couple thing. I don't like it.
My clan and I are at your disposal, should you require any assistance.
I need assistance getting up to that bed. Want to carry me up there? Yeah. We can all go. It'll be a party. It's a party in the bedroom. It's a party in the bedroom. Clan. He nods, but I decide not to press him for details. Yet, I'd definitely like to know how many supposedly good vampires reside here in Lunaris. I offer them both a smile and finish up my tea. Ezra hurries to take the empty cup from me and sets it upon the table. He places a hand upon Finn's arm. You're about to go upstairs. Finn, Nicole needs rest. Maybe you should head home. Oh. Oh. Finn nods and Ezra follows him as he heads for the hatch. Sorry. I forgot that he came out of a hatch in the floor. He doesn't come through the front door. He just literally comes through a hatch in the floor, like like the Wicked Witch and Snow White, just like cackling as he goes down. Sorry. It's just the image I get when I see this. Yes, he does. He does. They embrace briefly, and Finn whispers something in Ezra's ear, the witch grinning brightly as he pulls away. Then Finn's warm golden gaze locks with my own, and he smiles. Aww.
Be sure to take care. If you ever need anything, just scream, and I'll come running.
I was really tempted to scream just now, but I want to save y'all's eardrums, so I won't do it. But definitely wanted to scream. Absolutely wanted to scream. He winks, and my traitorous cheeks threaten to warm at the sight of it. He notices and laughs quietly, a deep, comforting rasp that I could most certainly find myself getting used to. Can you hear me better now? Devin, you're saying it's low. Let's smooth that up. How's that? Still low? I don't know, man. Hold on. Yeah. I moved it up. Is everybody hearing me really low? Because I don't know. I'm only so that was the sweet spot right there. That was it. He winks and I already read that, sorry. Threw me off. It was nice to meet you, Finn. Very nice. Finn gracefully lowers himself into the hatch, and Ezra stares into the darkness until the door slams shut. There's a delay. I don't know what to say about the delay. Yeah, there is a bit of a delay between what I see and what you guys are seeing, so I don't know if that's the visuals and the audio or just like both. Hopefully it's both. I can't fix separately. He turns and retrieves a tin of biscuits from the cupboard, offering them to me and waiting expectantly until I take a handful. Oh, he's giving me cookies and tea.
Please don't let our apprehension worry you. I'm sure you're more than capable of getting to the bottom of all this. Some are saying the town has been cursed, but I sense something else. Something bigger.
Oh, all right. Well, live and learn. This is the test stream to figure out what's going on, so I'm okay with that. Well, it's always a terrible night for a curse. True. Even though we've only just met, I feel like I can trust him. Within moments of my arrival, I could tell that something about this town was off, and I intend to get to the bottom of this mess. I have to live up to my apparently impressive reputation, right?
We've lost people, good people, and the investigation seems to have just halted. And we don't know what more we can do.
Oh, I just want to do anything to make him smile. Like that face that he's making right now upsets me. I'll be practicing no voiceovers.
Look at me getting all emotional when you're probably dead on your feet and desperate to get some sleep.
Years of me just talking into the wind. Yeah, that sounds about right. He quickly gathers himself, forcing a laugh to break the somber mood. God, that smile and that laugh, it just melts my heart and it makes me swoon. I just want a picture of that, always. I should have screenshotted this. Thank you for letting me stay, Ezra. I'll be out of your hair first thing. I will not leave. You have let me in. I am going to stay forever. I'm not going anywhere. I stifle a yawn as Ezra turns to fuss with some blankets. I'm thoroughly looking forward to settling upon the sofa, however tiny it may be. Why can't we sleep in his bed? That's right, Chris. It's my home now. Why can't I go upstairs with you, Ezra? Forget the couch. Just take me with you. Sleep upstairs. It's our bed, our room, our house.
Really, it's no problem at all. Wouldn't dream of letting you wander the streets at this hour, especially after that journey. I'll see you in the morning. If you need anything, just shout.
God, why do they keep doing this? Because I have the strongest urge to shout. Just so he just stays with me, holds my hand while I sleep. He heads upstairs and I eagerly remove my boots. The relief is instant when I settle against the cushions, pulling the soft blankets up to my chin. I'd be tiptoeing upstairs, man. The boots won't be making any noise. It's just me and my socks just tiptoeing upstairs to the bedroom. It's cool. Despite the abundance of questions that currently flood my mind, I swiftly fall into a blissful, dreamless sleep. Yeah, he put something in the tea. Clearly. Drugs in the tea. Magic in the tea. After I wake up, Ezra eagerly makes me more tea. Just him in the shop as I prepare to leave. I join him in the shop as I prepare to leave. Wow. I wait patiently while he deals with what sounds like a particularly difficult customer, doing my best to eavesdrop as I survey the books that line the walls. Most of them are in languages I don't understand. Like this right here, this gobbledygook. There's a strange energy in the air, and my senses tell me that Ezra's visitor is also of magical origin. Oh my god, are we about to meet somebody new?
You really can't just drop by like this and expect me to have what you need right away. These things take time.
It's August! Hi! This is who I was waiting for. Forget the rest of them. It's just them. Just them. I was just waiting on them. So many pretty characters! And we haven't even met them all yet. Oh my god, I love them so much. And I love the redesigns. So pretty. So pretty.
That's always your excuse, Ezra. Do you not want me to work hard to save this town?
The clip y'all put on Twitter was not enough. It did not do this person justice because this is beautiful. I'm in love with this voice. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it. Hold on. Let me do some figuring out because I'm an idiot. The VA, Jonah Scott. I'm gonna have to Google that person. I'm gonna have to Google them. Jonah Scott. That's a voice. That's a voice that's like instant pregnancy. Just that's it. Like you don't even gotta buy me nothing. You ain't gotta butter me up. It's just like boom. That's it. That's all I need. Whew. Ezra sighs, apparently not willing to argue, or maybe he knows he'll lose. The tall figure he's bickering with turns to look at me, and I'm caught off guard by their piercing eyes, their stare cutting me to my core. Ooh, yes. Yes. Jonah Scott. That's a name I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna remember that name. And I'm terrible with names and voice actors, but I'm gonna remember Jonah Scott. They scowl, their lips pursed as they turn on a towering heel. Oh, they're wearing heels! They're wearing heels! Sorry, I need to see the full sprite. Like I have a target on my forehead. Ezra looks like he's about to try and say something to stop them, but they wave dismissively over their shoulder. Oh. I love the slow pan. Just the slow pan up of just perfection. But I definitely want to see those boots. I ain't voice acting nothing. I'm not even gonna pretend. They come to stop before me and steal their gaze, staring me down and studying me from head to toe in a slow, pointed drag. I just feel real violated, but it's okay because they're the one that's doing the eyeing. I'm okay with that. Just spreads arms, look away, take it all in. I register the familiar violet sash that adorns their torso, the very same as mine, and I exchange a quick glance with Ezra. He looks apologetic as he hurriedly emerges from behind the counter to join us. Oh yeah, this is a good time to mention this. Lunaris Games also has characters. They feature non-binary characters in their games, and August is one of those characters. They use they, them pronouns, and I really appreciate that the text, goes along with that for them. It's been a while since I've played, so, oh, look, we got one. We got one of those spammy people. That's great. I feel so honored. Sorry, I'm having a dumb moment. But I do like that you can, you have these non-binary characters included as well. There aren't a lot of games that include non-binary and transgender characters in their narratives. So, like I said, if you're looking for games with really good representation for LGBTQ+, or BIPOC, definitely Lunaris Games are one of the best for that, because their team is made up of LGBTQ+ and BIPOC members, so they really do tell stories, and they do come from a more personal place because they have that lived-in experience. And I've said this a lot on my site. Hey, spam bots are always welcome to Thirst. But I do appreciate that they have that lived-in experience, and they're able to tell these stories that are much more representative of the people that they're portraying, rather than relying on stereotypes or, played out story elements. Sorry, I have a badge of honor here. The spam bot showed up, and I'm just like, I feel so just on a new level. Spam bots can't even resist the thirst. That is right, guys. Even the spam bots want to thirst over these luscious people. I even forgot what I read. An enforcer then One who apparently doesn't feel that it's necessary to wear the standard uniform, or maybe they simply think they're too important. They have a commanding presence about them, and I can't help but wonder what rank they hold. Nosy. All up in this too. All up in their business. No.
So you're my new subordinate? Interesting.
Yes, sir, I am your sub. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Thank you for joining me on this thirst tour. Gus. Gus. Yeah, me too, Gus. This is like Gus. Gus the theater cat from Cats. August? Oh, snap. When your boss walks in and you just been making all these jokes in your head, that moment when you realize this is the moment when she realized she fucked up. So this is the infamous Major General Willenheim that I've been assigned to. They're a prolific figure countrywide, and they're known for being responsible for one of the best hunters that Ascaria has to offer. Yeah, see, this is the moment when she knew she fucked up. This is when I fucked up. Out here just being dumb. It will be a true honor to serve under them despite their apparent icy disposition. I love how the MC legit was just dogging, oh, who is this self-important person who can't even wear the proper uniform? And now it's like, oh shit. It's General Willenheim. Oh, my bad. Like, that's an honor, sir. Honor to be under you. Honor to work for you, sir. Yes. Under you. Yes, Jill. Under them. I love that quick turn there. It was just like, whoop, like a switch. Historically, enforcers aren't the friendliest bunch. They live to serve just as we do, but they hold a much higher authority and love to remind us about it. I mean, when they looking like this, they can do whatever they want. The way Ezra said their name carried a warning, and August scowls at him briefly before turning their attention back to me. I have no idea. Hopefully we'll find out, Jill. Hopefully we will find out. I notice how tired they look, their eyes heavy-lidded and their skin pale, and they even almost sway where they stand. Apparently, Ezra notices too, a flash of concern crossing his features as he quickly rushes to gather some ingredients from a locked cabinet. See, Ezra and these drugs, though. Ezra is a teddy bear, but the quickness with the drugs just got the yandere senses tingling in the background. It looks like he's done this before, seen them like this before. Exactly. It's a pleasure to meet you, Enforcer Willenheim. I'm...
Yes, I know exactly who you are. Your arrival has caused quite a stir, and more than a little paperwork.
Okay. Sorry to make you work harder. My bad. I'm just trying to, help. They glance over at Ezra, watching as he breaks off a few sprigs from a neatly wrapped bundle of herbs and pops them into a glass vial. Their foot taps impatiently on the floor, an exasperated scoff falling from their lips as they turn to look at me once again, eyes rolling. You know what? Screw you. I love you, but you're a little too salty this early in the morning. Like, I just woke up and we already started. Can't. So tell me, Hunter Brown, are you ready to partake in one of the most baffling missions I've come across? No. Sure. Oh, we'll see. Yes, General. I don't know. Sure. Yeah. Let's go with yeah. Of course, General. I'm looking forward to working with you, sir. I can't. They quirk a perfectly sculpted brow, their lips pursed in contemplation. They're so pouty.
I don't suffer fools, and I certainly don't tolerate tardiness. If you're capable, we'll get along just fine.
fine. Whatever. I'll do my job. I'll do it so well, you'll have to, like, promote me or something. I don't know. Whatever happens with hunters who don't die in the line of duty. Their unrelenting gaze burns into my own, and I swallow thickly, offering them as genuine a smile as I can muster under such scrutiny. I think everything will work out. This won't be as effective, but it'll do the job for now. As August eagerly reaches for the vial clutched in Ezra's palm, the witch pulls away and fixes them with a worried gaze.
Please stop doing this to yourself. They're pushing you too far and you know it. You're better than this.
Aw, Mama Ezra. We just gonna Mama Ezra. That's the name from now on. Mama Ezra out here, trying to save folks. I love it. Now we both know that's not true. Ezra surrenders the vial, the viscous violet liquid glowing dully as August takes it with a trembling hand. Ezra squeezes August's fingers before pulling away. He looks impossibly sad. Aw. There's always a choice, remember that. August seems lost for words, but manages to maintain their carefully crafted annoyance. Okay. They reach for the door with yet another roll of their eyes, pausing briefly to catch my gaze.
I'll see you tomorrow. Don't be late.
I won't. We stand outside the shop, the sky bright, but the town somehow still feeling inherently gloomy. Yeah, it's not as brightly lit as Ezra's shop, and there's even like dead plants. Sadness.
If you ever need anything, you know where to find me. Please don't hesitate to stop by.
Oh, I won't hesitate. I will come every day. I'll move in. I'll bring all my bags with me. You won't get rid of me if you say that. Oh, I wouldn't mind. See, this is the invitation. He has invited me into his home. That's it. That's all it took. His smile softens, and I feel incredibly grateful that I stumbled across him. I mean it though, anytime, and be careful. See, you can't give me an invitation like this and then expect me not to stay. Like, I don't want to leave now. Screw my job. I denounce it all. I just want to be a witch. Can regular people just become witches and just train under one and just will live happily ever after? And Finn will just show up sometimes and we'll keep him. Thank you, Ezra. I bid him farewell, reluctantly leaving the warmth and safety of the shop behind to follow the rickety old street signs that point me towards the tavern, the place I'll be calling home for the foreseeable future. I don't want to go to a rickety cabin or tavern. I want to stay with Ezra in his warm, inviting shop with his spiked tea and his soft cushions, and Finn in the basement. Ooh. The tavern is bustling and full to the brim with red-faced patrons, the tables littered with empty tankards. It's only 9:30 in the morning, but clearly this town likes to drown their sorrows, even if the sun has barely risen. You know, don't knock it till you try it, all right? Sometimes you wake up and you're like, I need a drink. And that's a valid feeling for anyone. I push my way into the bar and a scowling barmaid rolls her eyes at me as I politely raise my hand to get her attention. What? Fine. I have a room here. Could I check in, please? She promptly rolls her eyes again and ducks beneath the bar, reappearing within a few seconds, looking even more pissed off, if possible. So, some games have sprites for their side characters. Some have like these weird shadowy things. I played a game recently where they had an actual full sprite for the side characters. It was just one that they rotated, but it looked like they gouged the eyes out, so they were like eyeless sprites, and it was terrifying. I don't know if this version of the game is going to have sprites for the side characters, or if they will just be completely invisible, which is perfectly fine. Or if it's just this particular build that they don't have sprites for. But it was just a thought I had just now. Sorry, guys. It's not a big deal. It's just a little detail I noticed. Room isn't ready until 2. Sorry. Room isn't ready until 2. You'll need to get a drink or make yourself scarce. It's like 9 o'clock and you want to get a drink. I muster a polite, albeit forced, smile, turning to find a table, but... Piper! Sorry. I realized I needed to be a bit more snarky with this barmaid, because she just gives no fucks. But it's Piper. I love Piper. See, that, okay, thank you, Sue, because, like, the game I was playing, they had actual, like, they went through the effort of drawing the sprites, so they look just like Piper sprites. The only difference is the eyes are, like, gouged out, and it was like, why would you go through the effort of drawing a full sprite and not drawing eyes on it? Just give them eyes. I get that they're, like, faceless NPCs in the background, but, like, give them eyes. It's creepier without the eyes. Like, they look like wraiths or something. It's just, it's terrifying. But yes, there's some love for Piper in the chat. Piper, oh, I love her so much. I love me a strong, powerful woman with a weapon. A woman that could probably murder me. It's just, that says a lot about me, I suppose. I find myself face to face with a striking, scowling woman who appears to be blocking me entirely on purpose. Shh, that's fine. That is totally okay.
So this is the famous hunter that's taking my place, then?
Her voice. I love it. I love all these accents. I love her voice. How else will I know they're not important? Yeah, no eyes. No, so back to the eye thing, it just kind of, it reminded me of like the way that some old Otome games would have like a faceless, like an eyeless MC character. So like the heroine that you play as would have a sprite, but they would have no eyes. So like the characters would be like, oh, you have such beautiful eyes. And I'm like, she has no eyes. What are you looking at? Nothing. There's like soulless little blank spaces there. It's so creepy. So I don't understand. Yes. Piper is awesome. Drink her under a table and y'all are besties. That's it. That's it. Especially since we taken her job.
You don't look like anything special to me. Come to gloat, have you? Rub it in my face.
No, I just came to look. Just came to look. I'm gonna do that here too, just to see the full sprite. Hi. Nice to meet you. Do I know you? Oh my god. Yes, it's like what were they called? The Heartless. The Heartless. They were called Heartless in Kingdom Hearts. And then there was something else in the later games, but I can't remember what they were called. Do I want to be sarcastic, friendly, or like, do I know you? Who are you? Shoot. Nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. I'm Nicole. How we doing? She looks taken aback, clearly not expecting me to be polite, and she quickly straightens up, her features softening, kind of. I love how they say her features are softening, but she's still got the scowl on her face. The Sprout is just scowling at me like, who are you? I know exactly who you are. Okay, my bad.
I'm Piper. Piper Merriman.
Nice to meet you, Piper. I'm the former general. I was leading this investigation until you came along. I'm sorry, if you had done a better job, perhaps. I had no idea. I just go where I'm ordered. You of all people must know we don't have much of a choice. Her gaze drops to her hands and she picks at a non-existent piece of lint on her trousers. She's so done with me. Yes, well, I do know that, I suppose. So I've really been called here to take Piper Merriman's place. She's a legend, having racked up more kills than some of the most seasoned hunters, and all at the tender age of 24. Oh my god. See, she's more accomplished than me at 24. And me in my 30s, just over here, just like. But I like that the MC is simping over Piper as well. We all should simp for Piper. I feel terrible. I wasn't told I'd be replacing anyone, and her being upset suddenly seems pretty justified. I'd be devastated if I was demoted too. We worked so hard and put our lives on the line, all while the majority of the enforcers sit safely behind their desks. Yeah, I'm sorry. Holding our fates in hands that aren't stained with blood while our fingers drip with it. That got dark fast. Hi. Okay. So I like this updated sprite, or this updated CG, because if I'm remembering correctly, because it's been a minute, the first sprite we get is in the first run of the game was her leaning against like a wall or something like that, and it was great. But this really just chef's kiss, accentuates her beauty and just how she could totally rip me to shreds if she wanted to, and I'm okay with that. Piper makes a vague gesture at the barmaid, and she swiftly handed a glass of warm amber liquid, and she delicately cradles in her palm. She steps closer with narrowed eyes, surveying me in a way that almost reminds me of August. Well, it's funny you mention that. Pretty sure I won't be getting Employee of the Month anytime soon. We could always work together. I'm getting the feeling I'll need the help. And I'm sorry, truly. I can't imagine how frustrating this must be for you. Anyone who has been replaced by someone else does not want to hear that from the replacement. I don't care how nice you are. Somebody's like, I'm so sorry. I never meant for this to happen. Yeah, screw you. She continues to look annoyed, but I can tell a more vulnerable emotion lingers beneath the seemingly rock-hard exterior. She swirls the rum around, watching the gentle slosh of it as it coats the sides of the glass.
Yes, well, that's what I get for being utterly shit at my job, isn't it?
I mean, I ain't say it, you did. She scoffs a laugh, but the smile that curls at her ruby lips doesn't reach her eyes. Oof. Anyway, I'm sure I'll see you in the field. I'm not totally useless, apparently.
They just have me doing the awful jobs, the stuff that doesn't actually matter. What a waste of a perfectly amazing hunter.
Exactly. You should be on the front lines. Enforcers. Just a bunch of pencil-pushing wankers. Sorry, I need to say that with more emotion. Enforcers. Just a bunch of pencil-pushing wankers. I want to hear her say wankers. Why can't we hear her say wankers? I demand that line. I stay silent, sensing that she might need someone to vent to. I've been there. Our job can be hard, and not just on our bodies.
Anyway, I can see I'm boring you. I'll just be over there, continuing to drown my sorrows until Willenheim summons me.
No, sweetie, no. You are not boring me at all. Come back, sit, talk. Vent to me. They're such an arsehole. So, I'm American, so every time I see arsehole, I always kind of go, I don't know how to pronounce that. I always want to say asshole. Sorry, it's just, I've played games before that were developed by folks from other countries, other English-speaking countries outside of the States, and they use terminology and spellings that aren't familiar to me, and there's just a moment of confusion because I'm like, I know English, but what is that word? I was playing a game a few years ago where they referenced bubblers, and I had no freaking clue what a bubbler was. And the game, the devs were Australian, so I asked an Australian friend of mine, and she's like, I think they mean water fountains. Like, and she didn't know, and I was like, okay, this is weird. That's just an aside because of arsehole. I huff a laugh, covering my mouth with my hand in a poor attempt to stifle the noise, and she seems briefly amused by my reaction. She offers me a thoughtful glance, then sighs loudly.
Don't take any shit from them, okay?
I won't.
Come and see me if they bother you. I'm not afraid to stick my boot up their backside. Again?
I would pay really good money to see that happen. Just to be a fly on the wall for that first time that she did that. Anyway, I'll see you around. Bye, Piper. She doesn't wait for me to respond. She about it, indeed. She just about that life. She doesn't wait for me to respond, and with a flick of long chestnut hair, she's gone. Like a breeze, like a hurricane. She just blew on out of there. I spot her disappearing into the heavy crowd that's mulling about in the center of the tavern. A crowd that's apparently pretty pissed off about something. I decide to investigate. Ah, yeah. This is my fave. Spoiler. Might as well get stuck right in. What could possibly go wrong running into a crowd? I push my way into the crowd, and what I find both baffles and amuses me. A lichen, a hybrid lichen, sat smack bang in the middle of the tavern, arms folded across his chest. He has a smirk plastered across his scarred lips, his wolf ears twitching dismissively as the townsfolk hoot and holler at him. Disrespectful fucks. The lichen doesn't seem to care and grabs his drink, taking a deep swig. My first impression is that he seems perfectly harmless, even if his cockiness is almost a palpable aura. As I take a step closer, however, I can see the scar he bears. Ooh. A seasoned scrapper, then, not shy in the least, and eager to stir up the ire of the authorities or other creatures, apparently. He spots me then, his scarlet eyes flashing, and then he's kicking out the chair in front of him, and gesturing for me to sit down. Either he's bold or he's got something to prove, and I find myself being watched by the eyes of every tavern goer. They're all waiting to see if I'm going to oblige the object of their disdain, and the tavern falls deathly silent. As I take a seat, the crowd slowly begins to disperse, though their eyes stay firmly fixed upon both myself and the lichen as they return to their respective seats.
They're lucky I kept my cool. Wouldn't you say, Hunter?
Excuse me. So, when Lunaris was dropping all of these voice clips on Twitter, I think I missed this one because wow. I love it. I love it. This is another moment in which I go and I look at who the voice actor is. Jalen Cassell. Okay. Okay, Jalen. I see you. Or Jalen. Pronunciation is bad. I wouldn't want to piss you off. You seem harmless. Yeah, let's tease him. You seem harmless. You seem harmless enough. I think I can handle you. His brows draw together in a deep scowl, but he still looks relatively relaxed. Playful, even.
You do you? Would you care to test that theory?
Yes, very much so. I love the way... I almost forgot about this. Oh, okay. Bye, Kamaya. Thanks for joining. I kind of wish she had stuck around for this. I'll just tell her later. I forgot about this. So, Alcar has 4 ears. Usually, when there's a character with, like, animal-y ears, the side ears are either covered by long flowing hair, so you can't tell that they're there. The human ears are covered by like long flowing hair, so you can't tell they're there, or they don't exist. But in When the Night Comes, Alcar has 4 ears, and it's one of those things that when you see it, you can't unsee it because because he has 4 ears. And I almost forgot. Exactly. The better to hear you with, my dear. It's like Little Red Riding Hood. It's like, Alcar, 4 ears you have there. The better to hear you, dear. He's a good listener. He's definitely a good listener. Exactly. He's 4 times as good at hearing people talking shit. But I was gonna not say anything because I didn't think about it. But then his little wolf ears, they moved, and I was like, oh, that's right. The 4 ears are still there, and I love it. It's what makes this guy so special. If you guys, I think there are a couple of lurkers out there, but if you're just joining us, we are playing When the Night Comes ReVamped. It's an indie, I don't want to call it an otome game, but it is an otome game, kind of romance visual novel developed by the indie studio Lunaris Games. They gave me a sneak peek at the revamped version, which has a lot of great new features, voice acting, updated art. I should probably say my name. My name is Naja B, also Blurdy Otome. And yeah, so thank you guys for joining. Let's keep going with our 4-eared friend Alcar here. One of his wolf ears twitches, and I can't help but smile at the loose threat. Maybe another time. How about you tell me your name and why you apparently have a death wish hanging around in a tavern full of humans who quite clearly aren't fond of non-humans. He bristles, his tail. Oh yeah. He has a tail. He has a tail. How can we forget the tail? He bristles, his tail wrapping around the leg of his chair as he places his now empty tankard upon the table. The noise draws a gasp from nearly every single patron, and I glance over at Piper, who sits in the corner, either obviously or obliviously. It's 10:30. I have had a long day. I clearly have lost the ability to read. Obliviously or uncaring. Piper can join the party too.
It's Alcar, and I don't have a death wish. Not today, anyway.
God, he is stunning. Stunning. What is with all these men and the shirts open so I can see their lovely chest muscles? Like, it's hard to read when their chests are above the text box. That's all my eyes can see are that. But he has the most beautiful eyes. It's only today. When I first played the game, this was the character that I played first. I don't know. I guess I just like the snarky characters, the ones that just kind of, they seem playful but relatable. Like all the other characters just felt like they were so much better than me, and Ezra just seemed like an angel that I just couldn't touch. Yes, definitely a mandatory dress code in When the Night Comes. Open shirts, everybody. Show the chesties. But of all the characters, when I first started playing, Alcar seemed like the most approachable. He's just kind of like, I don't give a fuck attitude, sitting in a bar, drinking at midday in the middle of this crowd of like humans who clearly want him to get the fuck out. And he's just like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna sit here and drink my drink. My money's as green as yours. And I love that. And then when you really get to know him, he's really, he's got a lot going on. There's definitely a backstory to him and why he has these scars that he has and why people dislike him. And even in spite of that, he still has a pretty lighthearted kind of approach to life. And when he loves you, when he falls for you, like, he's loyal above all else. He is like, I'm down for the cause. I am here with you. And I love that protectiveness. This is why Alcar is my favorite character. I love them all, but Alcar, it was my first, and I love him. He smiles. Look at that smile. Look at that smile. He smiles, folding his arms back across his chest.
You don't need to concern yourself with me, Hunter. I stay far away from your kind. From everyone. Mostly.
You need to. The man service in the game. I know. See, he's like, don't concern yourself with me. And I'm like, bruh, but I want to. I just want to be close to you.
I do enjoy coming here to rile this lot up, though.
See, it's that shit right there that I love. Just somebody who knows that people don't like them and they're just like, fuck it, I'm going to live my life. And you're either going to like it or you're not, and I don't care.
Unless they come looking for me, of course.
And then they kick that ass. Yes! My fave. Alcar is my fave. I really go for, like, over the years, my taste in, like, characters in Otome games has changed considerably. I used to love tsundere characters, or tsundere characters. Like, I can't do the rolling like I used to. Because I like the challenge, but over the years, I've kind of gravitated towards those more, the Genki guys, the really upbeat and approachable, and the ones that feel like they're on equal footing with you, somebody that I feel like I could be a friend with, and I guess that's probably me getting older and wanting someone that I could be, have a companionship with, I could be friends with first before that romance starts up. And Alcar is one of those characters where it's like, you really feel like this is someone that, if circumstances had changed, you still could have built a relationship with them. With the other characters, it's all circumstance. But with Alcar, it just feels like if I ran into him on the street, we would, have a meet cute, and next thing I know, we're married. Actually, no. So, do I like Impei? I like Impei as a character. I hated his route. It was really dull, and so, I'm admitting something. I've said it before. But for some reason, everybody loves Code Realize, like loves it, praises it to high hell. But for some reason, I cannot stay awake through Code Realize. Every time I play Code Realize, I fall asleep. It's like warm milk and blankets. Like every time I play it, I fall asleep. I just knocked out cold. And then I wake up with the impression of my Vita on my face. So it's like, I don't know what it is. And it's not that the story is boring or the characters are bad. It's just I cannot get through it. I got the game on release. It took me 5 years to finish Impei's route. And that's because I had to keep starting it. And I know, I'm like the only person in the world who has had a hard time with Code Realize. And it's not because I don't like it. Like, the characters are fantastic. Cardia is a wonderful heroine. I love the story. I love the premise of her having this, this poison coursing through her. And she's dealing with these ragtag bunch of literary and historical figures who all have their own motivations and their own reasons for being with her and trying to help her on her way. And it's just a fascinating story. But for some reason, my ass is laid out cold every time I play. It's just ridiculous. It's unacceptable. So I played Impei's route. I like Impei as a character on a fundamental level, but I felt like his story just wasn't as exciting for me. I couldn't do it. Like, his story, if you asked me to play it again, I'd be like, hell no. But I did start Victor's route, and I love Victor. I love the little cinnamon rolls. But yeah, Code Realize, it's one of those games I play when I have nothing else to do, and then next thing I know, I'm like out cold. Like, I want to go to sleep after a long day of work, and I just can't, or I got like insomnia. I play Code Realize. It knocks me out. It's perfect. It's actually great. Let's see. Yeah, like, it's a good game. It's a good game. It's just, it puts me to sleep. But, like, I really loved Codex Malice, and my favorite character from that game is Mineo. Mineo is, like, what I wanted Impei to be. This character that I really felt like I could relate to. Like, Mineo in the game is just like, all the other characters are these, like, super high-ranking detectives. They've got all this intelligence, all this, like, years of experience. They know so much more than Ichika. And she is just, like, really out of her depths with them, and she's learning from them because they're like mentor figures to her. But with Mineo, he is a high-ranking detective. He was in Division 2, I believe. I forget which one it was, before he quit. And sorry, spoilers. And but he always felt like someone who I could go out and grab a drink with, someone I could laugh with. Like, even when he doesn't like you at the beginning, he still respects you enough to still try to hear your opinion, and he works with you. It's not like you're working with him, he works with you, and it's an equal exchange of like ideas, of, you know, talking, of power and things like that. So I really liked his route. Like, I loved his route. It was perfect. Like, when they met and they had that little I don't like you to we could be friends to romance, it felt very natural. It was just a very natural progression for their story, and I loved it. So characters like that always do it for me. That was my long-winded answer to a thought about Alcar being my favorite, but that is why I love Alcar. I just love characters like that. Hey! welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. This is my very first one. I was just telling the chat and everyone listening about why I can't finish Code Realize and why I love Mineo from Codex Malice, and how that relates to my love of Alcar, because he's just a very relatable, very approachable character. And when the night comes, he's one of the characters that I just immediately resonated with, and it was like a no-brainer when it was for my first route. Oh yeah, Mineo is just like, he's beautiful, he's perfect. Like, and that cute rice bowl, I was just like, I just want to feed him and marry him and take care of him. And just, we live together and be happy. We go out for beers on weekends. But yeah, that's just what I was talking about. It was a little aside. He glances over his shoulder, catching Piper's gaze. Piper just over there in the corner, just like glaring. She flips him off and he turns back around to face me, his shoulders shaking with his laughter. I love it. I love how she's just like, fuck you. I saw her first.
I'm sure you'll grow to despise me in time, just like every other idiot in this hopeless town.
Never. I know, his laugh is so perfect. He's perfect. No, I'll never hate you, sir. Never, 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 never. He stands, and all the patrons stiffen. It's so quiet, you could hear a pin drop, but Alcar merely rolls his pretty eyes. I love how this MC just be thirsted up for these characters. Like, every time she thinks about them or she's describing them, it's like, he merely rolls his pretty eyes, his gorgeous gaze. I feel it. I'm here for it. This MC is me. Yes, so we are playing the first two chapters of When the Night Comes ReVamped. I wanted to see how far I could get by 11, but I might just go until we get to the end of the first chapter just to see what all is in store. Lunaris Games gave me a sneak peek of the first two chapters. The revamped version of When the Night Comes has voice acting with an all-English cast. All the main characters are voiced, and we've met a couple. We've met Ezra, August, Piper, and what's my dude? I'm looking at him, Alcar so far, and I loved all the voices right now. They've also updated the art, so you'll notice some new features there as well. See, don't get me hyped. Don't get me hyped. So Lunaris Games has been dropping some sound bites from the voice recordings on their Twitter, and I miss Alcar's. I caught the other ones, but I definitely miss Alcar's, unless it didn't go up, and y'all, you know, it didn't go up. So I don't remember if I saw Gideon up there. Actually, that's a good question. Let's see. Yeah, Finn. Oh yeah, Finn. I'm sorry. That's the voice actor. Yeah, you missed Finn. Finn was on earlier. We listened to Finn earlier, and it was just, I'm failing myself right now. One, because it's 100 degrees in my apartment, and two, because Finn was just delicious. Hopefully, I can't remember. It's been a while since I played the game, so I can't remember when Finn shows up again, but the voice was perfection. He looms over me, close enough that I can smell the earthy distinct. What in the world? I cannot pronounce that. Sorry.
Petrichor.
Scent of him. I'm sorry if I did not pronounce that correctly. It's been a while since I took my SAT, so forgive me.
If my advice is worth anything to you, then trust me when I say to trust no one.
Can I trust you? He stares me down. Even you?
Especially me.
Oh.
Goodbye, Hunter.
Ah, thank you, Jill. Coming in clutch. Because, like I said, it's been a while. I'm 30. It's been a minute since I was taking my SAT, so them SAT words, they're long gone. Oh, I did. See, my sound. See, taking Latin in high school helps with pronouncing words. I don't even know if that's a Latin-based word or not. Sorry, guys. I watch him leave. Yes, so beautiful. I watch him leave, feeling everyone's gaze still fixed upon me. I compose myself and offer them a smile, as genuine as I can muster after such an odd encounter. Girl, that was your bae. You just met your husband and you fucking around. Yeah, so When the Night Comes does have a lot of, trying to find my words at almost 11 o'clock at night. The text can be a bit heavy and wordy if you're not a native English speaker. Even as a native speaker, sometimes there are words that I'm just like, I don't know what that is. And it happens often. It's not just this game. It's a lot of visual novels and otome games. I kind of joked on Twitter that otome games have been the best thing for my vocabulary. I've just learned so much. So many words that I either didn't know or I did know and I didn't know what they meant. And I had to Google them. I kind of said like Pokemon taught me what loamy soil meant, because that's the perfect soil for planting berries, and 11-year-old me just had no idea, so I looked it up in a dictionary and I learned that it was sandy soil with good air, good for planting. So the more you know, you learn. These are not just for fun and thirsting. You actually genuinely learn things by reading visual novels and things. You should, as well you should. And welcome. I don't know if you've been lurking or you just showed up just now, but yeah, you should totally play otome games. Absolutely. I've been telling people they should be playing otome games. That's what my whole platform is built on. Play otome games and indie visual novels. No, okay. I use Google now, and also when I can't pronounce a word, I do the pronunciation feature on Google. So it'll be like in the background, just like pronouncing the word for me, and then I'll say it like 500 times. It's kind of like that episode of Foster's Home where Blue is watching the news and it's like, it's hot in Topeka, and then he's just like sitting around the house going, it's hot in Topeka. So I literally will sit there and enunciate the whole word until I get it right. And then I'm like, cool, I've now learned it. And then I move on. But yeah, no. Otome games and visual novels have greatly improved my vocabulary. Not that I use it, but I at least know what the words mean when I see them. I glance at the clock and it's only 10:30. Actually, it's 10:55. Yes. Junie B. Jones. Oh, I used to read those as a kid. I remember my teacher would read them to us, and then she would like, oh, sad to see you go. But thank you so much for joining me on my first stream. I'm not nearly as nervous as I was at the start, so thank you for, hanging with me through my awkwardness. And heck yeah, absolutely. I love all the work that you guys do with this. I'm absolutely going to like bump the hell out of this game once it's released, because I think more people should play Lunaris Games' titles. They have phenomenal stuff, and I want as many people to play them as humanly possible because they're phenomenal. But it was nice for you to join us. Thank you. For everybody else who's either just joining me or sticking around still, we are slowly plugging away at When the Night Comes ReVamped. You guys are actually getting a front seat to why all of my playtimes on Steam are in the triple digits, because I always stop to stare at the pretty men and women in my games, or I get distracted and start thinking about something completely different. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I really was extremely nervous. I actually wanted to do video, but I underestimated exactly how much light I needed for myself to show up on a camera, and we gonna have to fix that eventually. So we'll just work up to it. It's perfectly fine. Y'all are just missing out on me making really awkward, ugly faces over here, like squealing like a schoolgirl whenever somebody hot shows up. Nothing really important, just the aesthetic of my face. See, Jill? Building shows and watching hot boys. That's my kind of evening. It's about to be, evening for me. What time is it for you guys? Like, for me, it's like almost 11 p.m. I do have tomorrow off, so I'm perfectly fine with staying up today. But what time is it for you guys over there? Is it morning, afternoon? Are y'all kicking it on the East Coast in the nighttime times? Yes. See? Okay. I work in the morning. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for joining me. For those people who have work in the morning and they are still here with me, I appreciate you. You guys are awesome, because my ass would absolutely be in bed. I would be watching the recording tomorrow morning. So, yeah. Hot boys are a separate time zone. Indeed they are. Anytime is hot boy time. So, all right. So I have some time to kill. So she goes to the creepy ass cemetery. What the fuck? I'm sorry. Sorry, this caught me off guard. I have time to kill. Let me go to the cemetery. Yeah. The town is small, very small, and it takes me less than an hour to walk it from end to end. On my travels, I find myself drawn to the cemetery, and the scent of blood is thick there. Like, who the fuck? Like, first time in town, guess where I'm going? 11 a.m. Oh, okay, so we like completely swapped. Yeah, that's essentially what this is. It's like a little Cthulhu's about to come out. I'm gonna die. But I like the light here, the extra features of the light, streaming. I don't recall if this was in the original version of the original episodic version of the game, but it does give a bit more life and movement to the static images. It feels more like you're in a place rather than just looking at it. Depth, that's the word I was looking for. That would be because this is the site of the last murder. I come across a patch of scorched grass. The earth around it is trampled by the boots of enforcers and hunters alike. The remnants of a crumbled gravestone are littered around the perfect black outline of a body, and I take a deep breath, crouching down to skim my fingers along the edges. I should have mentioned this before. This is a supernatural mystery with romance sprinkled in for extra flavor, and it does go to some dark places. Yes, it is almost Omen time. Hey, but as far as I remember, the story keeps it pretty PG-13. I don't think we saw any blood or anything too graphic, if I'm remembering correctly, especially in the first two chapters. I think they really did a good job of easing you into it, because as I said at the beginning of the stream, this was originally released episodically. So we got new chapters every 4 weeks, and they did a really good job of building the story up with each chapter building on the last to kind of unfurl this overarching mystery, and it really kept you coming back for more, because you wanted to know you wanted one more piece of the puzzle. You wanted to know just a bit more about the story and the characters and what was really going on, until you finally get to that conclusion and everything just kind of hits you at once. And it was a doozy. So this does get a little dark. Nothing too like triggering or graphic. If I'm remembering correctly, I just marked this mature because I swear. And I don't want to think harder to filter myself. I close my eyes and try to picture it, what happened to them, but it's hard to truly see, knowing how stark the darkness is here. It's a blur, a mere memory, but I feel terror. They were so scared, utterly alone in their final moments. But something sticks out to me over all of that fear. I'm sorry. I love you. The words hit me hard, my chest aching, and I feel an intense longing. I feel love, the powerful and unconditional kind that snatches the air from your lungs. I shouldn't laugh, but I love the idea. I just see somebody like snatching the air from your snatch. I take a deep breath and force myself to stand, trying to shake the feeling. I'll find out who killed you. I'm sorry, I should say that more righteously. I'll find out who killed you. I'm startled by the sudden sound of heavy footsteps, my hand hovering over my weapon. I look around frantically, on guard and ready, and then a striking figure approaches. Ah! He's clad in fine clothing, his long hair tied in a neat ponytail, the crown of his head adorned with delicate jewelry, and I should be unsettled. The pointed teeth and sharp claws indicating he's definitely not human, but he's smiling. It's Omen, guys. It's Omen. We meet Omen. Omen is sweet. Next to Ezra, Omen is like teddy bear territory. Just such a sweetheart. Then the flicker of a spade-tipped tail tells me all I need to know. I'm staring at a glamoured demon, though I'm finding it hard to be alarmed by his presence, which seems to be a theme here in Lunaris. It is. He is. Oh, Omen is such a sweetie. Omen is such a sweetie. I wonder, let's see. Let's see if the full sprite is here. I love this pose. He's just like, shh. Like he has secrets. Like, shh. See, just adorable. Got the pointy little tail. And like everyone else in the game, the shirt is open so that we can see just a hint of the chesties, just a hint. Just a little taste to whet the appetite for the rest of the game. His eyes are a warm chestnut brown, and they sparkle in the dappled sunlight as he gazes at me in wonder.
Hello, Hunter. I've been looking forward to meeting you.
Aww. Aww. Omen sounds so sweet. Who's the VA? It is Chris Patton. Chris Patton. I'm not going to remember that, but Chris Patton is the VA for Omen in the game. Sorry for my mouse moving around. The arrow moving around. The mouse was in a weird position. You have? Don't move. Okay, so don't move feels really threatening, but you have just kind of seems like a safer approach. I don't want to scare him away. Right? So cute. You've been expecting me? I watch as his cheeks darken, his gaze dropping to the grass. Oh, look at the blush! Look at the blush! Why are you so cute?
Well, people talk and I listen, and they've done a lot of talking about you. I hope I didn't scare you.
No, not at all. I want to give you lots of hugs and head pats. Well, he's certainly not like any other demon I've encountered. The not trying to kill me part helps. Yeah, it does. You didn't. It's okay.
You're sure? I've gotten used to startling people.
I promise you that I've seen scarier. He laughs, his tail flicking. Oh, I'm certain you have. His aura is calm, if not a little skittish, and I decide he's probably more scared of me than I am of him. He's still hard to read though, and that's frustrating, but not necessarily alarming. What's your name? I'm sorry, pause. Jill, Chris Patton is Oikawa's English VA. No shit. Sorry, we're gonna have a moment where I Google. Let's see if this is the... Let's see if this is the same one. Okay, so fates. Okay, diabolic. Okay, about all this. I don't know if Chris is still in the chat, but Chris, is this the same Chris Patton that's done all these anime roles? I'm genuinely curious because this is an extensive, like, portfolio. It's at the bottom on the wiki. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we've got a really talented cast here working on, that worked on When the Night Comes ReVamped. So we got Chris Patton. Wow. Okay, I don't typically listen to dubs, so most of these folks are like completely over my head, but I was going through the biography just for a bit, and there were a lot of like really well-known roles in there. So okay. See, these games, they just be sneaking these like really talented VAs in there, and nobody knows. The demon exhales sharply, apparently relieved that I'm making conversation rather than drawing my weapon.
It's Omen.
You've got to be kidding me. Will we be hearing Oikawa moan? I hope so. Sincerely do. You've got to be kidding me. What kind of omen? Introduce yourself? See, this is rude. What kind of omen is rude? So we're just gonna be like a normal human being and introduce ourselves. A demon called Omen. Well, that's reassuring. Clearly his sire has a good sense of humor. Or he picked his name himself. I'm Nicole. Also, if you're just joining and you're wondering why the name is Nicole, because you know my government name, I don't like using my government name in these games. When they say my name, it feels awkward. In this game, they don't. They actually say the lines around your name, but I've played like when they profess their love to me and it's written as I love you, Naja, it weirds me out. So I've just taken to never naming my MCs or my characters after myself. It just, yeah, it weirds me out. So I always go with Nicole Brown. So when I play games, if I decide to do a stream anytime soon and you see another game and the character's name is Nicole Brown, that's why. I'll probably explain it there too, but that's why I do that. So how has your first day in Lunaris been? It was great. I got to sleep in this house with this great witch. I met a vampire. I met a lichen. I met a really hot babe in a bar. It's been a good day. Yeah? Yeah. It's always so weird when you're playing like a Japanese otome game and they say like an American sounding name in the text. It just throws you off. But I do know that some games that when you use the default name for the MC or the heroine character, the VAs will actually say it. Most of the time they're like, hey, you. Which is like a running gag because they're like, hey, you. And I'm like, this is so awkward. Learn her name already. So yeah, it's just what I do with, yeah, you can name it to whatever you want, bruh. I've seen some really fun names for heroines, and it's always fun to see like the text with the weird names in them. But I keep it simple because I'm basic, and I like to keep it simple in my gameplays. I huff a quiet laugh, yet again perplexed by the wonderfully weird inhabitants of this town. He's certainly the most polite demon I've ever met. I guess it's been fine. I'm just a little overwhelmed. It's a strange town, isn't it? Omen laughs, the sound musical and almost infectious, causing my own smile to widen. I love how sweet and carefree that sounds. Look at his face. When they laugh and smile, like him and Ezra, they are just They are too pure for this world, and it's so... You just want to hug them and just give them cookies and head pats. Yeah. Yeah, using heroin in a game to call the MCs, it can be confusing if you're thinking of the other heroine, especially if you leave the E off. So, but I tend to alternate between MC, which is main character, heroine, or protagonist, depending on the game. If it's a boys love game, I'll usually say the protagonist, or power bottom, whichever, whatever moves me at the moment. But for otome games and indie otomes, I tend to say MC or heroine. It's just a much more streamlined way of just referring to them. But with When the Night Comes, When the Night Comes, you can choose your gender pronouns, and it's an unseen protagonist, kind of like what they did with the Arcana. So you don't ever see the protagonist because you are the protagonist. This is your story. So here I will use MC since there's more of a gender neutral term in this particular setting, unless I'm referring to my version of it, which is a she, which is also confusing.
You're being polite. It's more than strange. It's a mess I and many others hope you can fix.
No pressure. Like, there is so much pressure to fix all of these problems that I did not cause. It's not fair. I grimace, my gaze drifting back down to the place where the last murder victim lay. I sigh and muster as much confidence as I possibly can. I can do this. I can solve these murders. So, absolutely no pressure then. Omen shrugs playfully.
No pressure at all. Welcome to Lunaris.
Thanks. I make it to the enforcement headquarters with time to spare after August's thinly veiled threat about tardiness yesterday. Yeah, yesterday we met our boss. So the reason everything, I'm not gonna spoil it, but yes and no. So the question was it the reason everything was happening was like something small but hilarious? And yes and no. It was something small, but it was something that had a really big impact. And like I said, a part of the story is the mystery. So I won't spoil that for you guys because this game is coming out soon and I want everybody to play and enjoy the mystery. This is just a sneak peek of the first 2 chapters. We're probably not going to get through both chapters because, it's like 11 o'clock. But I at least want to try to get through this first chapter just to give you guys a taste of what is in store. But we're about to meet... No, you're perfectly fine. I was trying to think of a way to explain it without spoiling it because, like, the mystery element of the game is really what sells this. Like, the characters are fantastic. The growth that you see from all the characters over the course of the story is phenomenal. And it's just a really great story. But that mystery is just like the sweet cherry on top. It's what keeps you reading chapter after chapter. And the way it's built up and the way that it kind of snowballs into this big epic finale kind of thing, it's absolutely worth uncovering and discovering for yourselves. But yeah, that's just my thing. So I am trying very hard. It also helps that it's been a while since I played this because I vaguely remember things. So I can't unintentionally spoil something. The only thing I'll know is like when a character's about to pop up, like when Omen showed up and it's like, oh, Omen or Alcar at the bar. Yes, we're meeting August. He kind of threatened us that we should be on time for our first day while we were just frolicking through the cemetery. Yes, it's always growing. It's an always growing spank bank. I had a terrible night's sleep on scratchy sheets and couldn't possibly feel less ready to face my less than friendly superior. See, that wouldn't have happened if we didn't tiptoe, if we hadn't, just threw aside caution and just tiptoed our asses upstairs to Ezra's room, or maybe down to the basement with Finn, but nah, we gotta sleep on a couch. A tiny couch at that. MC is no fun. I raise my fist to knock on the door, but the muffled conversation that I hear coming from inside has me hesitating. It sounds heated, and I glance at the clock on the wall behind me to check the time. I have 1 minute before I'm sure General Willenheim will admonish me for being late. I'm sorry if I'm butchering their name. I'm pronouncing it phonetically because that's how I see it. So I take a deep breath and I knock. The voices stop suddenly. I hear a clack of heels and then, please say it's August. Yes. Oh, it's you. They quickly glance at the clock.
Well, you're on time at least. Congratulations.
Don't sound too happy about it, Jesus.
I know it's terribly cozy out there, but please come in.
Right, you don't want somebody in your office. I'm being polite. I nod politely and quickly step into the enforcer's office. Oh, it's purple. It's fabulous. It's beautifully decorated with neatly arranged bookcases lining the walls that are laden with a collection of trinkets and tomes that possibly rival Ezra's. There's a huge desk in the middle that overflows with reports and letters, and a half-empty ink pot, an elegant sapphire quill poised and ready. Then, as if I'm experiencing a rather vivid case of deja vu, Piper! Piper appears before me looking decidedly less impressed than she did in the tavern yesterday.
Hunter.
Nice to see you again. Oh, look at August. How to piss off August today. Yeah, ignore him. Hello, Piper. It's nice to see you. She stares at me, her eyes narrowed, as her gaze flickers to August, who stands quietly just behind me. Their hands are clasped behind their back, a dark eyebrow quirked almost unexpectedly. Piper frowns at them, her nose crinkling before she swiftly turns her attention back to me. Yes, you too. I offer her a smile, but the one she offers in return doesn't quite meet her eyes. I appreciate the effort nonetheless. So you two have met already, In the tavern again, were you, Piper? Don't be like that.
Ugh.
August sighs heavily when we both fail to respond, and Piper manages to look anywhere but her superior. Anyway, I mean, she's an adult. She can drink if she wanna. They run their hand along the edge of their desk, inspecting their perfectly dust-free fingertips as Piper huffs in their general direction.
I know you have very important business to attend to, but I'm not finished with you yet, Willenheim.
I was saying it right. Cool. I don't know which is which. Is that so?
I've given you your mission. You've complained about it loudly.
The disdain in his voice. He is just so over all of this. He's like, bruh, leave me alone so I can go back to sitting in my chair and looking important. So done.
So, pray tell, Major, what else could there possibly be?
Some respect? Piper flinches. I see her demeanor shift, her admirable determination withering and dying as that word... Of course I skipped it. Idiot. It's soothing, and whatever he's doing grants me the foresight to see that he most certainly is harmless, that he bears no ill will toward me. Something tells me he now sees I'm harmless too. Oh, shoot. This is like all the way up here. Okay, that's upsetting. Here we go. So, one thing, I did not realize the history would be all the way at the top where we started. So we had to scroll down. Piper flinches, and I see her demeanor shift, her admirable determination withering and dying, as that word rolls off August's tongue, a harsh reminder of her demotion and one that clearly stings. I wonder if I'll ever get the chance to ask her about it, to finally know exactly what she did that warranted her being made such an example of.
Nice, August. Really nice.
Yeah, they're just rude. They are just rude. I'm sorry. August uses they, them pronouns. So, yeah, I need to be better about that. Sorry, guys. Way too much sass in this room for two people. I think I should just see myself out and let them have at it. You could literally cut the tension in here with a dull-bladed dagger. Absolutely. It's not awkward at all. We have a meeting, General, sir? August sighs, glancing at Piper almost guiltily, but the sorry expression fades the second she meets their gaze. Yes, we do. Is that everything for today, Merriman? Is it ooh, you can just feel her ready to just like throw hands. Was it They take a deep breath, pinching the bridge of their nose between forefinger and thumb. You're dismissed for today, Merriman. They stare each other down, and I wonder how the hell they ever managed to become one of the most successful elimination teams in all of Eskra. Wait, they were partners? See, this is the spinoff I want to see. Piper and August. Just the adventures of Piper and August. First they start off as enemies, then they become friends, and maybe lovers. Highly doubt it, but... I've heard countless weird and wonderful stories of their partnership, of Piper's unparalleled strength and August's unmatched intelligence. See? Brains and brawn right there. But here, now, all I see is a dispirited hunter and an impossibly tired enforcer. True. Harry is on his way. I suggest you depart quickly.
Shit.
I love that the line is shit. That is beautiful. I could feel that. I could feel that energy. She blanches at that, and I can almost see her admitting defeat. Her shoulders relax, and the furrow in her brow fades.
Fine. I'll go and look for your possibly a small chimera, but probably a big fucking cat.
It's a chimera. Technically, a chimera is a big cat with a scorpion tail. You know.
One day you'll have to stop punishing me, you know.
No, she sounds sad. Piper grabs a set of expensive-looking daggers from the chair in front of the desk, strapping them to her back with haste. She pauses in front of me, and those dark eyes soften as she meets my gaze.
See you around, Hunter. Enjoy your important meeting, and remember what I said. Foot. Ass.
Do it. Now. Yeah, all the important lines are getting said today. I keep doing that. Sorry, guys. She chances another glance at August, and they suddenly become very interested in studying their perfectly manicured nails. I can't with August. August out here just like looking at their nails, inspecting their desk, clicking around in these thigh-high boots. Thigh-high boots! August is everything I wish I was. With a wink, she then fully spins to face August, squaring up to them playfully. The enforcer towers above her, still uncaring, still unbothered. Twat. And with that, she turns on her heel and slams the door so hard it shakes its frame. Yes, we all vote for an ass kicking. August walks around the back of their desk, practically falling into the well-used leather chair. If I could just be the feather of that quill. I scan the piles upon piles of paperwork that litter the surface, taking in the countless reports and letters, scribbled diagrams, and gruesome drawings. I get the impression August is in over their head. The disorder of all this information makes my fingers twitch. They watch me carefully, stifling a yawn with a trembling hand. I know, trust me, I know. As much as I hate to admit it, we've got nothing. As of right now, I suspect everyone in this town, as should you. Though I may not really know them just yet, I sense that this kind of vulnerability I'm seeing is rare. August doesn't strike me as the type to admit defeat so easily, and something more serious than the usual stress of the job seems to be lingering under the surface. After what I witnessed back in Ezra's shop, I can't help but wonder what they were like before all of this. The way the young witch looked at them, it was pity. Ezra pitied August. August huffs a quiet laugh and relaxes back in their chair. And for the first time since we met, they seem to let their guard down.
I don't know why Harry decided you were the right person for this job above all others, but I trust him implicitly. So, whatever plan he has for you, we had better make it work.
Like, it feels like a compliment, but it also feels like an insult at the same time. I am confused. I'm confabulated. I don't know what to... Thank you? They pause, staring me down with those ice blue eyes. They're more of a lilac, but, you know, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm tired. Now, are you ready to begin? I don't know what's happening. I think I am. Let's start. Always, General. Flirt. I'm remembering this stuff like retroactively, but I remember there were special choices that were like especially flirty that got you a not so much a more romantic outcome, but a more I'm thinking robust, but that's not the right word either. It just gives you a much more flavorful outcome. It's kind of like if you've ever played like mobile games where you have to like pay with gems or special tickets for endings. Yes, spicy. Thank you, Jill. Spicy ending, spicy results. So it's like that. You except you didn't have to expend any gems or coins or anything weird for it. You could just choose to be flirty or keep it casual or do something that was just like in the middle. And that's one thing I do like about the game. If you're not interested in romance, you don't have to go for a romance ending, and it does not affect the ending of the game. With a lot of these indie otome games and otome games in general, Hey Ellie, welcome to the party. We are talking with August right now, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to flirt with them or keep things casual. I was just explaining that the game has a nice mechanic where you can choose whether you want to have a romantic relationship with these characters, keep things platonic, or just keep things, cool until you get to a point where you're comfortable having more romantic interactions with them. But When the Night Comes is one of those games. I got sidetracked. But in most otome games and indie otome games, the main goal is for romance. And if you choose the less than romantic options, you tend to get a normal or bad ending. So the game kind of punishes you for not going for that romantic end. But with a lot of indie otome games, and especially with When the Night Comes and Lunaris Games as other games, they don't make romance a hard line that you have to cross. If you are not comfortable with a romantic outcome, you don't have to go for that. You can keep it platonic, and it does not affect the story in any way. You don't get punished for not wanting to romance a character, and I love that, because let's face it, romance is not for everyone. Not everybody has those feelings or those emotions or wants to pursue that with these characters, and it's great to have that option without being punished for it. For those of you who have hung with me this past 2.5 hours, y'all know I'm thirsty as fuck. So we're gonna go with the flirty answer, because that's what I do. Always, General. I feel emboldened as that piercing gaze bores into me, something twisting deep in my gut. I lean forward in my chair to make sure they see me. See, this is the level of thirst I was missing in the first half of the game. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes, don't be fooled by Axis games. They will make you think that romance is the only way. Play an indie otome game today if you are not in that romantic way. I don't know if that rhymed or not, but I be flirting all the time. Yes, we've been having fun. This is going a lot longer than I thought it was going to go, but I'm trying to get to the end of chapter 1. I am not going to make it to chapter 2. I might do it another day. I might not. We'll see how I feel. This is a lot longer than I thought. But yeah, no, I totally be flirting in these games. When I write reviews, y'all don't get all the thirst that be happening, which is why this is happening now. I want y'all to hear it so y'all know. But this is why my Steam playthroughs, like my gameplay times, are all in the triple digits because of this. Exactly, always. And Lunaris Games always delivers. All of these characters have their shirts open just a little bit to give us some beautiful, beautiful openings. All right. Yeah. So I'm glad that you brought that up. Someone, Umbaro, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry if that's mispronounced. I am not good with pronunciations. We don't tried that before. Just said that they wish that they had more passive flirting options in games. Because they said, in game, they're a bit too awkward to be so bold. So I did play Our Life from the indie dev GB Patch games. That game has a lot more customization, and the game really kind of drives home that it is a custom experience that you craft yourself. There are no bad choices. No matter what you choose, it's your story, it's your experience, and there's no punishment for it at all. And that game has a lot of options where you can be passively flirtatious. If you're a bit on the shy side, there are options that allow you to be flirty, but also in a way that's more in line with who you are as a person. Whether you're shy, more bold, or just kind of like, I don't really care. You don't get punished for it. I think a couple of times I literally told Cove to go leave me alone because I was just like, I don't want to be bothered today. And it doesn't punish you for wanting to have that alone time, that space. Any other otome game, any other indie otome game, it would have been like, you're right on the path to getting a bad ending. But it lets you be you in a game without, free from punishment, free from judgment. And I love that about it. I really wish more games would incorporate that, but I also understand that that's a lot of work to get that level, that degree of customization, that degree of just like options and things. So I understand why a lot of devs don't do it. It's very intense. So I appreciate Our Life all the more for it, because it really did feel like it was my experience, because I could be rude if I wanted to be. As a child, I was a bit of a little shit, so I said what I wanted and I didn't care. But as I grew older, I grew more of a filter and I was much more respectful. So it was nice to have that option to just be a little shit in my younger years. And no one is like, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be feeling that way. It was a very great, awesome experience, and I highly recommend it. I know we're playing When the Night Comes Revamped, but I highly recommend playing Our Life Beginnings and Always if you haven't already. They even announced that they're doing another game set in the same kind of universe with different characters, and I'm so ready for it. They are upping the ante with the level of customization in it, and it looks like it's going to be phenomenal. Sorry, I just read what Jill said. Jill said the download should come with a free towel. Yes, they should. All otome games should come with a free towel so that we can wipe away all the sweat from all these hot dudes. Where was I? Oh yeah, we were flirting with August. I feel emboldened as the piercing gaze bores into me, something twisting deep in my gut. I lean forward in my chair to make sure they see me. Yes, sweat, question marks. Yes, I am totally waiting for step 4 of our life because I want to marry Cove. They released the sprites of like adult Cove, and like, I wish I could show you guys, but I probably could, but I would mess up my perfectly crafted stream right now, and I don't want to do that. But Cove is grown-up Cove. He went from crybaby to awkward teen to cute 18-year-old to grown man, and I love it. That sounds so terrible. So terrible. August really sees me. I can't wait to see where our partnership takes us, General Willenheim. Yeah, Cove is a little... I wanted Cove to be a bit more bold in the earlier days, so it was a little frustrating for me because I'm more bold of a person. And to have him just kind of be like, I don't want to do this, or crying, it's like, dude, I want to shake him sometimes. But that made the relationship between them so much more wholesome. And I really appreciated having that option. I really appreciated it because it was just like, you grow with him. You see the changes over the years. He starts out one way and then he's pretty much the same, but his personality changes based on your choices, and you don't really know what your choices are going to do to his personality at the time until they happen. But if you don't like that, you can also go ahead and change it yourself to whatever you want. It's purely your story. Yeah, I could talk about our life all day. Don't do it to me. All night, I guess. We're trying to seduce August over here. August presses their finger to their lips, appraising me. Okay. Oh, really? I think we can achieve absolutely anything together if we truly wanted to. I love this. Flirty MC and August, absolutely. We can do whatever. We can take care of anything together. Anything you want. Though they're clearly trying to hide it, I see their lips twist in a sly grin.
And you state this after knowing me for a mere day and a half. How bold.
Yes, I like what I see. I'd have paid good money for that to be a line. I know what I'm capable of, and you're quite prolific, you know. Way to make prolific sound sexy. Their long, dark lashes kiss the tops of their lightly flushed cheeks, a pretty shade of dusky rose painting their pale skin as they lean in. That blush. Closer, closer, close enough for me to see the flecks of violet that swirl at the outer edges of impossibly blue irises. Okay, that'd be a little too steamy for me. Sorry, guys. I need a minute. August is magic. August is magic, overflowing with it. It pours out of them in waves. I can feel it deep in my bones and settling upon my skin. Okay, this got a little too intense. Intense for me. Call it a gut feeling. Oh God, that laugh. A quiet, careful laugh, and suddenly they don't look quite so tired anymore. See? August is ready to go. Ezra was playing. August is ready. Let's go.
I suppose you hunters hold quite the advantage over me with your gut feelings, don't you?
Woo. Yes. Sure. The voice acting is perfect. August. Sorry, I need to collect myself for a minute. I wasn't ready. August tilts their head, their face doing something strange, an expression too quick to catch appearing before they settle back into that implacable ease they've mastered so wonderfully. Implacable. They curl the corner of a page that settles beneath their fingertip where their hands have drawn closer to me at the edge of the desk. They clear their throat, but their next words sound noticeably husky. Oh, please God, let this be voice. No! The VA for August is Jonah Scott. I said I would remember it, but it's like almost midnight, so forgive me for forgetting. Sorry, Jonah. You're lovely. The VA for August is Jonah Scott. Regardless, I do hope you're right, Hunter Brown. I wanted to hear his husky voice. I feel cheated. They pause. Rather, I look forward to testing your theory. Which theory? I smile, genuine and warm. Me too. And please, call me Nicole. We're going to be partners after all, aren't we? Oh yeah, for y'all who are joining us, I don't use my government name in these games. It weirds me the hell out. So today we are Nicole, and then every time I play a game, they will always be Nicole.
It's very well, but you will still call me General.
Fuck, that was hot. Wait, that was really hot. Does it replay? Oh no. You know what I wish? I wish that the log would replay the audio like it does in certain Otome games.
It's very well, but you will still call me General.
God, that line. Oof. Oof. Yes, I will call you General all day. Yeah, I wish the log would let you replay the audio. I'm gonna have to look at Jonah Scott in some pictures, because apparently they look like August. So this is like a really good casting here. I laugh, but I nod in my agreement. Of course, General. I hear footsteps in the hallway, and August quickly rises to their feet. Jeez. They straighten their clothing and tie their sash a little tighter. I follow their lead and move to stand by their side, my heart hammering triple time in my chest as those footsteps draw nearer. No. August is not a vampire. Just Finn, as far as I know. The lad nipples. I can't with this. Joe, you are like the authority on these VAs right now. Thank you for this. I appreciate the wisdom. But to answer the question, no, August is not a vampire. It is Finnegan. Begin again. Sorry, I am so sorry for the misgendering. They. August is they. They use they, them pronouns. I apologize again. But yeah, they are not a vampire. There is a distinct clang of metal, of armor, and heavy boots. Then the door swings open and an imposing figure enters the room. Does this guy have a... Yes. Okay. That was a question. His gaze flickers between myself and August, his expression stern and almost emotionless. I've heard many tales about Harold Addington III, and as he stands before me, I feel a certain sense of pride that he would choose to summon me to deal with such a vital case. He's adorned in the standard enforcer colors of black and gold, but his outfit is far more regal than any of the other higher-ranking officials I've seen. A wide smile breaks out across his scarred lips, and he pulls August into a tight embrace, a deep, comforting chuckle rumbling in his chest. Okay, they look too familiar.
Old friend, how the devil are you? It's been a while. Too long, I say.
I'm trying to remember. I vaguely remember this character. But I also feel like if I voice out loud what I think, it'll be a spoiler, and I don't want to do that. He pulls away, still firmly holding onto August's shoulders. You look exhausted. Have you not been sleeping? August offers him a wry smile as Harry drops his hands. I'm trying to sleep. Does that count? No, it does not. Harry throws them a look, something stern but edged with a certain fondness, one that a father might give. One that a father might give to their child. You would name them. Wait, if you had a cat, Harold Addington III would be the name. I can't, Joe. Don't do me like that. But yeah, no, August definitely has a lot of folks looking out for them. Ezra, got Harry over here. I guess Piper, in her own way, is looking out for him. Or them. It's I'm very sorry for the misgendering. I'm extremely tired, and I know it's frustrating, guys. I'm sorry. Harry throws them a look, something stern but edged with a certain fondness, one that a father might give to their child.
Look after yourself, Augustus. See,
they're using the whole government. He's using the whole government name, and that's the problem. Like, I don't like that. There's something going on here, and I'm not sure if I like it. Like, I don't think Harry's mothering is the same as Ezra's. August nods once, still smiling as Harry turns to stand before me.
Hunter, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I can finally put a face to all those impressive reports I've read.
So Harry hired us without having ever met us in person. Yeah, see, there's a lot. I don't know. There's something going on here. I can't remember. He offers me his hand, and I eagerly take it. It's a pleasure to meet you too, Lieutenant General Addington, sir. He smiles warmly, keeping his grip on my hands, his other holding my forearm.
Harry is fine. None of that formal nonsense. If we're going to be working together for the foreseeable future, we might as well get familiar, wouldn't you agree?
No, I don't want to get to know you. There's something wrong here. Of course, Harry. See, yeah, that's my feeling too. Like, Harry used his whole government name. Nobody else calls him Augustus. You got Gus, you got August, but Harry just shows up and he's like, Augustus. Nah, and he's wearing this regal, stiff coat. I don't know. I'm getting the vibe, the tingly vibe that something ain't right here. Now, let's get to business, shall we? August hands him a standard issue file sealed with wax bearing the Scarlet Enforcer emblem. They watch me carefully as Harry breaks the seal, a heavy sigh falling from his lips as he quickly scans the report. He closes his eyes, handing the paper back to August before he turns his back to us both. A silent moment passes and Harry rounds his shoulders, clicking his neck before he faces us.
You know, I've worked for the Enforcers for nearly 30 years, and I've never felt quite so useless. We've lost some of our best, our brightest, kindest.
Harry pauses, the waver in his voice evident as he composes himself.
I am truly at a loss, and I'm finding it hard to remove my emotions from the equation when it's my own people being needlessly slaughtered.
See, something's not right about Harry at all. Like, something's not right about him at all. I don't like it. August reverts their gaze, stealing a quick glance at me, seemingly sussing my reaction, but also giving Harry a moment of privacy.
Nothing can bring them back, but we can bring those responsible to justice.
Yeah, Harry is a bit invested in this. Suddenly it hits me. The victims were hunters, weren't they?
Yes, they were hunters, just like you.
Ah. Harry huffs a quiet laugh, clearing his throat.
I know we're putting a great deal of responsibility on your shoulders, but I have never-ending faith that you're the one who can help end this madness. Do you have any questions?
See, it does. The VA for Harry is very fitting. It's very refined, but also kind of like there's something more there that feels out of place. That it's like they're friendly, but like overly friendly to the point that it's like something else is going on here. Ask about the victims, or are there any patterns? I guess this would be more if I'm just trying to establish what's going on and get a broader scope, but ask about the victims is like, let's ask about the victims. They're hunters. How many victims do we have so far? August looks at Harry for guidance, and Harry nods his permission.
4, but we anticipate more. The victim has shown up every 7 days for the past month.
Yeah, I think it was on purpose, the voice acting choice. I think it's supposed to give that kind of mismatched feel of kind of like somebody who's friendly and welcoming, but they're hiding something, which is a good choice for this particular character, because this big important person showing up like this out of nowhere for this case, there's more going on than meets the eye. And this is one of like the early indications that there's something bigger going on. Just this conversation between August and Harry. Like, August is constantly looking at Harry, seeing how much they can reveal about what's going on, and Harry is being very kind of veiled about how they talk about this. They're giving the illusion that they're being open about everything, but you feel like there's something else that's just like being hidden under the surface. And like I said, when this is episodic, this is part of what made the story so interesting, and why it kept people coming back with each new chapter, even if it was like weeks between releases. It was that desire to know what was really going on, because you never quite know what's going on until the end.
Yes, with the most recent being 6 days ago, which is when I called for you. Enough is enough.
Yeah, why did we wait till for 4 people to die, though?
We're due a body, if our calculations are correct.
See, this is what it is. It's like, why am I here? Harry clears his throat, twists the gold band on his finger.
I'd like you to concentrate on the latest victim for now. Male, 46 years of age, a general. He was one of our best. We owe him this.
See, and the last victim was a general. I'm a general. Piper was a general. Like, this is all sus. I take a deep breath before I ask my next question, feeling immensely guilty before it even falls from my lips. Were all of them burned? I saw the ash and the charred ground. And this is referring back to when we were frolicking through the cemetery on our way to see August. And we met Omen. We also met Omen at the same time. But there's a patch of grass where you could see the burned outline of a person. And apparently that was one of the victims of these murders that are going on in Lunaris. Yes, each body has been burned very badly, yes, to the point where we cannot determine what wounds they sustained beforehand. Not even with magic? He shakes his head, exchanging a look with August, one I can't quite place, and stuff here. Not even with magic. And then, are there patterns? Other than the timing of the murders, are there any other patterns I should be aware of? Harry's mouth twists into a grimace, and he shakes his head. I hope you don't think ill of me, but I'd rather not tell you at this point. See, you want me to work on this case, but you don't want to give me all the information that I need to do this case, to solve this successfully. Methinks there's a setup here. He and August share a look, and August seems perplexed by this statement. Harry places his hand upon August's shoulder, a reassuring touch, a smile. Then he looks back at me. Please, just trust me, both of you. Yeah, I thought it was fully voiced, but there are unvoiced lines in this, so it's partial voice acting. So it's partial voice acting, and yes, it does feel a lot like a CSI kind of episode of the week situation, because you get like little bits and pieces along the way. I want you to go out there and see things with your own eyes. Utilize your abilities. Then we can discuss what we've already discovered. This is a complex case with many intricacies, but I think it's important that you don't let our opinions cloud your judgment. As terrifying and as baffling as this may seem, I see where Harry is coming from. I don't want to be influenced by an investigation that is so obviously failing. So, where would you like me to start? I almost expect them to tell me to figure it out myself, but Harry surprises me. Well, the most obvious place would be the Ibex. The what?
A curious pair are the Woodridge twins. They've taken up residence in the old church in the middle of town. I'm sure you've seen it.
I saw it all right. Big, imposing, and very obviously dilapidated. Yes, I did notice it. It's quite hard to miss, but I assume it was empty with it being in such a state of disrepair. We can only dream that it becomes vacant, unfortunately. August clenches their fists, the faintest flicker of magic shimmering in their palms.
They're a plague upon this town, spouting their drivel and preaching to the dumb and ignorant. They're idiots.
So rude. August takes a deep breath, their magic dissipating.
Right. Sorry. Well, I'm not fond of them, if you couldn't already tell.
Harry and I share a glance, and he smiles warmly, winking at me. I can't hire them. They'll disappear. That's terrible, Jill. But very valid.
Oh, I think we got the picture. Now, as I said, I suggest you start with them. Just see what you make of them. You might need to play along with the woman. She tends to favor playing games. Anything to baffle you.
I don't like this. Sending me into this, like, lion's den. Like, go run along. You meet them first. Have they already been questioned? Are they dangerous? Are they human? Valid points. Harry shrugs, and August's annoyance at him being so unbothered is obvious.
Yes, they're human, and yes, they've been questioned. Hunter Merriman saw to that, but she and the woman have a rather tumultuous relationship.
You sound a little too happy about that, sir. Their alibi is solid. They have a guard, a human, who has connections to Clan Casimir. She has no reason to support the Ibex other than just doing her job. I'd still be interested to hear what you think of her, though.
So, in theory, they're harmless, but they do have the people's ear for some bizarre reason.
They prey on fear, and the town is infected with that right now. Be cautious of them. They certainly won't take kindly to you.
Oh, I think the General can handle them just fine. Have some faith, August.
Yes. I'm with August. Caution. Err on the side of caution. And then you've got douche nozzle here, Harry, just like, go on in there. It's fine. They can do this. Y'all just lost 4 generals, 4 hunters. I'm a newly appointed general, and you are just throwing me out there
Oh, hey, welcome, new people. We are playing When the Night Comes Revamped. It is an indie visual novel developed by Lunaris Games. It is a supernatural fantasy mystery game with a little romance sprinkled on top for, flavor. We are currently talking with our boss, August, and August's boss, Harry, who is totes a creep. He is sending us to some place called the Ibeck, where we're supposed to talk with a pair of twins who aren't dangerous, but are totally creepy, apparently. This revamped version is an updated version of the original When the Night Comes. It has updated artwork. It has voice acting. I thought it was full. It is partial voice acting with a stellar English cast. And yeah, that's about it. That's what you missed. We met some of the other love interests previously. August is one of the romanceable characters. Harry is not, thank God. And yeah, that's I think you're about caught up. 3 hours of stream, and you just missed out on me thirsting over characters. Yes, the art is gorgeous. They really updated all of the sprites and a lot of the CG work, and added some minor animation to the sprites. You can see that they're blinking here. That was not in the original game. It's really gorgeous. I also want to spotlight that Lunaris Games is also really good about having a lot of LGBTQ plus representation and BIPOC rep in their games. So you will see a lot of people of color. You will see a lot of people who identify differently or have different orientations. And it's just really great to see that August in particular is non-binary and uses they, them pronouns. And yeah. And also our protagonist, our player character, you can set the pronouns for them as well. I went with she, her to reflect my pronouns, and I went with the name Nicole Brown because I get really weirded out when I use my government name, so I don't. Yes, yeah, you missed Finn. Unfortunately, I am recording this, so I don't know how this works with Twitch, but I do have a recording of it, and if I can't figure out how to get it on Twitch, I will put it on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel that I don't use, and this would be perfect for that. This is my first stream. This is a test run, so thank you guys for joining me on this fun journey, and for your insight and your input. It has been greatly appreciated, and it helps me greatly. Oh, it will save automatically. I hope so. I hope so, because like I said, this is my first time. I am not tech savvy. I am challenged with technology. Me setting this up is a wonder. I'm on one monitor, so there's like 4 windows and they're kind of like on top of each other. It's a mess. Okay. How does it keep it for a while, or will I have to like download it and save it? I mean, I'm recording this anyway for my own self, so I have like a reference point for it, but just for future reference, this is like, we're going on 3 hours now, so this is like a Lord of the Rings movie over here. But yeah. Oh, hi! Okay, that makes so much sense. I'm sorry. I'm reading the comment. Hey, Soft Space Commander. Glad you could join the stream. Okay, so it does get deleted. So I'm going to keep this recorded version that I have. And then I know there's a way to download it from Twitch to keep like the chat and everything. So I will do that because you guys have been phenomenal. Like I said, the feedback has been great. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for catching me with these gender pronouns, because I don't want to misrepresent these characters. They are phenomenal. And like I said, this game has some fantastic LGBTQ plus representation, and I want to make sure that I cover that fully in this stream. I'm learning. I will do better. Thank you guys for bearing with me through this. And I absolutely love August, so I feel bad. 1 or 2 months. Okay, so I will do it after I finish, because knowing me, I tend to forget to do these things, and
it's just lost to the ether. So I don't want to lose this this awkward rambling of mine that you guys seem to like. But yeah, for folks who just joined us, this is a sneak peek at When the Night Comes Revamped. It is not out yet, so you guys are getting an exclusive sneak peek from me today. It's awesome. Thanks to the awesome folks over at Lunaris Games. I cannot thank them enough. They slid me this early advance copy, and I was like, can I share it with people? And they graciously agreed. So we're here thanks to them. I don't know if they're still out there in the chat. I know a couple of folks from the team were here earlier, but I'm not sure if they're still hanging with us. So I just want to make sure I say thank you again. This sneak peek only covers the first 2 chapters of the game. If I'm remembering correctly, there were 10 chapters in the original. So it's just the first little chunk. It gives you a nice feel of the characters and the story and everything like that. And of course, you know, if you see any bugs, you know, let me know, because feedback is always essential for indie devs, especially when they're still working on the game, so we can slide those over to them. And yeah, like I really dig this game as a whole. I loved it when it was released episodically. I am loving the new changes here. It's been some time since I played. It's been about a year or 2. But as I play, I'm slowly remembering more things and more of the character introductions and things. So I said earlier, I'm getting a creep vibe from Harry here, and absolutely getting a creep vibe from Harry, because I'm remembering some things about Harry from my first playthrough, and yeah, something ain't right. Yes, I highly recommend playing this game. It is phenomenal. You can play the compilation version of When the Night Comes right now. It's not on Steam yet, but it is on itch.io, on Lunaris Games' page, under which When the Night Comes. When you search it in there, you can play that. And if you buy it now, it's like $5 now, or $10, I believe. When you buy it now, when the revamp version comes out, you will automatically be able to download that revamp version. So you don't have to worry about that there. And you don't want to miss out on this revamp version. They've got new art, great new sprites. The voice acting is divine, as we've heard so far. And it's all around a great game. I highly recommend it. And also play their other game, Errant Kingdom, which is currently ongoing. And they've got another game coming out, Call Me Under. Call Me Under. It is an eldritch horror kind of supernatural fantasy romance that's coming soon. There's just a demo for that. They just released an extended demo a few months back. Highly recommend it. Some phenomenal characters. You've probably seen them like tweeting out one of their characters from that game, Adrian. They are a siren, and sexy siren. Yes. Yes, the voice acting was just like on point this time around. The sighs, the groans, I love it all. It definitely works to make these characters feel more lifelike. And when you're playing visual novels, it's really easy to get kind of burned out on how static the images are, how static the characters are, how static everything is, because it's just these characters set to a static background. So to have that movement, it definitely gives a bit more life to the story and the characters, and you feel more immersed in everything that's going on here. But yeah, yes. Yeah, Eldritch. There is another game that does have a bit of Lovecraftian horror coming out. It's called In Blood, and that is from Jamie Scribbles. Oh my god, let me make sure I'm saying this right, because I do not want to make that mistake. Y'all listen to me like type, sorry. Yes, In Blood, by Jamie Scribbles Games. It is a Lovecraftian kind of horror game where you can romance these monstrous characters, and it's on par with When the Night Comes. So if you're looking, Call Me Under, the upcoming game. So if you're looking for something with a bit more, yeah, there is actually a character that kind of looks like Cthulhu. They are a demon god
with like 1,000 eyes and like tentacles and things. I don't think they're a romanceable character, but a lot of people really want to romance the demon god, and I kind of want to too. And they've been like hinting at it on their Twitter, so I don't know. I really hope that we do get a romance with them. That would be awesome. But that's also in the works as well, and it has a similar vibe to When the Night Comes. So if you're looking for something that's similar to this, those are great options as well. Let's see, where were we? August, my plug for all these indie games. August waves their hand dismissively, wandering over to a filing cabinet that's nestled in the far corner whilst muttering something under their breath. Also, I just thought about this. A friend of mine who was tuning in, they said, I'm not doing camera. And I actually was going to have my webcam up and I was going to show my face and everything. You could see my face as I reacted to these things and the look of panic and awkwardness. Firsthand, that secondhand embarrassment. But I underestimated exactly how much lighting I needed so that I could show up on my camera. And rather than you guys looking at me sitting in the dark, I just said, fuck the camera. We will figure this out another time, and then we'll see how this goes moving forward. Just now you get to listen to my sultry voice as I thirst over attractive characters in a mystery horror visual novel. So, sorry. Next time. August waves their hand dismissively, wandering over to a filing cabinet. That's what I already read this. A warm hand touches my arm. See, dude, inappropriate touch. No. We trust you, Nicole. I don't trust you, sir.
Now, once you've spoken to them, I suggest just going where your gut tells you. There are plenty of other Lunarians for you to get to know, so just take today to really find your feet.
I met everybody there is to know. I met Ezra, I met Finn, I met Alcar and Piper and August. I've met everybody I need to meet in this game so far. There's no one else I need to talk to.
I must meet with August and some of the other generals now, but please report back to us in the morning. Unless you find any damning evidence, of course, in which case, report back immediately.
Okay. I nod, glancing over at my superior, who has taken it upon themselves to dive headfirst into yet another pile of paperwork. I like how August is just kind of it's like, you're on your own, kid. I'm just gonna hide over here behind all this work, and you talk with the big boss man. Trust no one, right?
Not a bloody soul. Suspect everyone. Question everything.
I suspect you. I question everything you said. I trust not you, sir. Anybody else in the chat just not trusting Harry right now? Like, I don't trust Harry. He's... something wrong. Something right here. I close the door behind me, leaving August and Harry with their discussion. I feel a bit overwhelmed, but ready to finally start my investigation. Work. As he lets you take care of everything. No. Like, it's sinister music, right? It's not just me. It's not just me. There's like literally sinister music playing whenever Harry is on screen. Thank you. All right, it's me, Lizzo. You. Yes. I close. Ready to finally start my investigation and to hopefully end all this chaos. I take a deep breath and straighten my clothes, feeling ruffled from both that initial heated encounter and the brief but semi-informative conversation with the Lieutenant General. As I turn to leave, I spot Piper leaning against the wall. She looks stoic, her gaze fixed on the floor, but she perks up when she spots me approaching. This is the CG I remember. Piper, like, leaning against the wall. Oi, Nicole. I can call you that, can't I? Yeah, we cool. You can call me by my name. She makes a quiet, frustrated noise and closes her eyes. She shakes her head, inhaling sharply before she meets my gaze. Listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that exchange. I couldn't bring myself to leave without apologizing for my behavior, both today and in the tavern the other day.
It's been a rough few weeks, and I often let my passion overrule any rational thoughts that I promise I am capable of having.
That's nice.
It's unbecoming of me.
Very. I'm taken aback by the vulnerability of her words. This isn't the Piper I thought I'd have to become accustomed to. Y'all, I'm sorry. It's after midnight. So my words, I'm not used to talking this late into the night or morning, I suppose. Hey, it's Friday. Happy weekend, everybody. She raises her hand to halt my words, callous fingers curling into a fist.
Please, just let me apologize, all right? Then we can pretend I never acted like a complete asshole, and you can go and do your job.
I love you. That's all I have to say. So, she sticks out her hand. Her daggers clanging noisily, where they rest in the holster at her back.
The name's Piper Merriman.
Nice to meet you. She rolls her eyes, taking a deep breath before her next sentence.
Major Piper Merriman.
Yes, guys, she was demoted. They demoted her from general to major, and I am just as over it as she is. She deserves better. So much better. Yes, she does. She does. I definitely liked that they had that in there, because you don't see that a lot in media. They tend to shy away from the skin pigmentation bits, and it's actually much more common than many people realize. So I really appreciate it. And Piper is gorgeous, like just absolutely stunning. I want to say vitiligo, but I also don't want to feel like I'm using the wrong term. Sorry guys, it's late. I also had the urge to say re-vitiligo from the Boondocks, if anybody has ever watched the Boondocks, which is absolutely wrong. Yes, it's vitiligo. Thank you, Jill. Jill is here coming in clutch with the Googles and the voice acting role info. Blessing. But yeah, I really love that is a feature of her as a character, because you do not see that often. And like I said, Piper is gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Yes, you are my Dora. Thank you. She throws me a wicked grin, and I can't help but laugh. You're allowed to be upset, or I could do the flirty answer, whereas the pleasure is mine. We're gonna flirt. We flirted with August. We're gonna flirt with Piper. Let's do this. I wish I had the option to flirt with Finn, but he was defending his bae, Ezra, and Ezra was giving me spiked tea, so, no romancing there. I eagerly take her hand in my own and shake it firmly, my touch lingering a little longer than necessary as I cling to her warmth. It's a pleasure, Hunter Merriman. I gather I'll be seeing you around, or I hope I will. Hey, I'm all for it. Jump the bones. Jump it. Let's go. Here in the stream, we are all here for it. Let your thirst flow. A smirk hooks the corners of her mouth, our fingers brushing as they slowly part, and there's something curious shining in her striking gaze. Oof. Oof.
Well, the town is terribly small. It would be quite hard to avoid me.
I wouldn't want to. I shrug nonchalant. I can think of far worse things than bumping into you. Hey. She narrows her eyes, shoving me playfully. The most subtle flash of color creeps across her freckled cheeks. Woo! Another blush! More blushing! We should collect. It's like Pokemon. We gotta collect all the blushes.
Oh, I don't know. I can be pretty scary if you ask nicely.
I'm speechless. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Nicely, you say? She purses her lips, her sapphire gaze sweeping over me like a caress.
Well, well. I think we're going to get along swimmingly.
Yes, we are. Got the deep red lips and the striking like hip out pose. Like, oh yes. All right, thank you for joining. I really appreciate you stopping by. Aw. Hopefully we'll continue this another time. I have to work up the courage for that. I really just want to try to get through this first chapter. And then I'm calling it a night because it's been almost 4 hours. But again, thank you so much for joining. Hope to see you around, and I'll definitely be chatting with you on Twitter later. But yes, let's go. Let's keep pushing along real quick. Well. Oh yeah, we've already read this. She's quite an enigma, and I can feel my skin prickling under her heavy gaze. Certainly not an unwelcome feeling. Not at all. Team Piper all the way. She laughed at me. I feel so offended. She snorts a laugh, the sound wholly inelegant, but charming nonetheless. I love her laugh. It's full of so much life. What's so funny? She narrows her gaze. The Piper snort. She narrows her gaze, shifting from one foot to the other as if she has excess energy to expel. Oh, nothing much. I didn't expect you to be quite so interesting, I suppose. I feign offense, and her answering laugh is magical. It is. I could listen to it again. Let's do it again. I'll just have to prove myself then, won't I? That you will. Piper glances at the clock before turning back to me with a roll of her eyes.
Ugh, I better get going. I have an inevitably worthless mission to get on with.
Yes, the Chimera. She has to go slay a Chimera. I would love to see her slaying a Chimera, but here we are.
People in this town are adept at mistaking common house cats for ghastly creatures. Must be something in the water.
Always something. Oh, we've got a codex. I should go too. I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but one of the new features to the game is this codex, this nifty codex that actually lists out important terms and references that are made throughout the game. This is a new feature. It was not in the original game, and I said this earlier, but When the Night Comes has a very extensive lore. You've got all of these different supernatural beings and individuals. You've got witches, demons, vampires, enforcers, hunters, the whole nine. And the first time around, while the story is really good about explaining things in the moment as they're important to the story, I felt that there was a lot of world building that we were missing out of and out on in the game itself. Lunaris Games did supplement that by uploading lore documents on their Tumblr page and on their Patreon, but it wasn't integrated into the game at the time. So they, in this revamped version, they have added a codex. Chris from Lunaris Games was here earlier, and they said that there will be 20 plus entries in the codex, so you will get extensive details on the different characters and things. Just this entry here on witches that we're on it's like a book. It's like reading a short story, and it's multiple pages long. So you're really getting the full scope of the world and these characters in this one place. I believe they may offer this as a PDF. I'm not sure. I know some devs have done that before. They've had like an additional like lore codex as an add-on that you could buy later, or it's just there. But it's really nice to have it here in the game. So if you ever really want to take time to dive into this and really get a really great understanding of these characters, the story, the lore, the history, what's going on, I highly recommend it. And I also love that it even looks like a weathered old book. You've got the water stains from, you know, age, and then the faded edges. It definitely gives it a sense of like oldness. That's not the word I was going for, but it makes it feel more legitimate, like a legitimate source of ancient wisdom. So I just wanted to point that out because the chimera is now added in. And I didn't realize this, but oh, look at this. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, so no. Aw, that's disappointing. So this one is handwritten by Piper and August. So you've actually got this entry is filled in by the actual characters. And there's a cute little drawing here of the cat. Willow, guess what made the awful noise? The chimera awful noises? Guess. A fucking cat and her kittens. Waste of time, as usual, Piper. So, as we are parting ways with Piper right now, we are now aware that she literally had to deal with a cat and her kittens. And I love this little drawing here. It is, it's adorable. And I love how August down here is just like, stop wasting paper. This is so very on brand and in character for these particular characters. I love it. And it's these little details that I love because it makes the story feel more real. Because these aren't just characters you're playing in a game. These are people, and you get to see them acting as people would. It's such a more immersive story, and that's why I love indie games so much, because you have these stories are written not by companies or big organizations that are trying to like stay within a certain mold or follow a certain premise. These are people like you and me who have a passion for games and just want to tell their stories the best way they know how. And that you get this wit, these witty little sides, you get these fun little stories, you get these little quips, these little details that you wouldn't necessarily see in a bigger budget game. And I definitely appreciate it. It just makes it a much more personal experience for the players. So this is fantastic. I didn't even realize that was there. So, as we're saying goodbye to her, yes, of course. Now, off you go. Save Lunaris and all that. I'll see you around, Nicole. We now know she is going to deal with a ornery cat and her kittens. We wish her luck. I gather my wits, checking my supplies and weapons, adjusting my armor. It's time to begin. Oh my god. It's a strangely beautiful day in Lunaris, regardless of the biting cold. The sky is clear, and the cobbled streets are abuzz with the smiling faces of townsfolk strolling to the local market with empty baskets and full pockets. There's certainly a different vibe to the last time I walked these streets. No panic, no haste. Okay, so when we first arrived, if you missed it, when we first arrived in Lunaris, it was nighttime and all the characters were trying to get the fuck out of Dodge, because when night falls in Lunaris, people die, crazy shit happens. So everybody was trying to go inside, and you were the lone person on the street, and you're trying to figure out where you're going. And while you're just kind of like at a loss for what to do, Ezra, one of the romanceable characters, sees you and offers to let you stay at their place, where you meet their jealous vampire Bae, who hides in the basement. And yeah, we did not get to sleep in bed with Ezra or Finn in the basement. It was a little disappointing, but he did give us some magical spiked tea. So, fun times. As I draw nearer to the center of town, I see that imposing white building, scarlet flags swaying in the wind on the roof. But as I look closer, I can see that they are tattered and dirty. The twins may very well be human, but the way my stomach drops and twists as I approach the weathered wooden door tells me I might be shocked by what I'll find inside. I push open the heavy door, and the sight that I'm met with snatches the breath from my lungs. I love that they use snatch. This is not the first time they said something snatches the breath from them. And I just really, every time I see it, I imagine somebody just like snatching the air. I wish. This place is huge. Its dome ceiling was seemingly once decorated with an intricate painting, but the layers have cracked and peeled over time, and nothing more than the remnants of what looks like a starry night sky cling to it. The furniture is caked with a thick layer of dust, and the pews are in disarray and covered with strange etchings that look like they've been carved into the cheap wood with a blunt nail. There's a lot to take in, but I'm not here to scour this ruin for evidence. I'm here to talk to its inhabitants. The dread that now firmly seated in the pit of my stomach churns violently, but it's something old, something that lingers. I anticipate that I might find a lot more than I'm bargaining for if I truly desire, but I need to focus. I need to find the Woodridge twins. As if by magic, two pairs of startling, bright blue eyes emerge from the shadows near the destroyed pulpit. See, now this is what I imagine vampires looking like right here. These two. They look vampire-ish. Yeah. But again, like all the characters in this game, they're drop dead gorgeous. Hello, Hunter. We're expecting you. To say that they're I know. Nicole just like, let's play games. Let's play a game. To say that they're unusual would be an understatement. They're not at all what I expected. Question them immediately or start slow. If I remember correctly, they were really unhelpful people, and I don't know. I can't remember what I went with the first time. It's been forever. I'll go with start slow. We don't want to piss anybody off this early in the game. I offer her a small, friendly smile, however forced it may be. Word travels fast in Lunaris. I'm Hunter Brown. She narrows her eyes at me, suspicious for the briefest of moments before she smiles unnervingly again. Despite her best effort at apparently trying to be cute, it's still terrifying. You know, again, she's gorgeous. I can't be terrified by this gorgeous woman here. Like, it's, and the brother is like adorable, like a little cutie. You want to pinch his cheekies. Like, oh wait, I just noticed this. For once, there's a character that is not exposing the chest. What is this? They're holding out on us. Disappointed. Disappointed. I'm Aurora, and this is my dear brother, Amaros. Anybody else got a guess as to how we pronounce this? It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Hunter Brown. I nod politely, not quite sure which of them I should be focusing my attention on. Amaros. Exactly, I gotta work hard for this. I gotta like peel back the tie, unbutton the whole blazer, and then the button down underneath. And Amaros looks like the type to wear like a shirt underneath the collared shirt too. It's too much work. Keep them on. But Sis is just like, hey, I'm beautiful. I want you to see it. And I love the corset. Like, I love it. These characters. I nod politely, not quite sure which of them I should be focusing my attention on. Amaros doesn't appear to enjoy talking, or maybe he's simply not permitted to. His overbearing sister is clearly the leader of the two. Let's address Sis, because she seems like the alpha in this relationship. I study her steeled gaze, and she seems completely at ease. Aurora, can you tell me what you do here? Amaros looks relieved that I didn't focus my attention on him, his once stiff shoulders sagging. Aurora clears her throat. a delicate hand covering her mouth as she does so. I really wish her lines were voiced. I'd love to hear like some sultry, like low warble come out of her, but you know, in my head, I'll just have that memory. Well, what exactly would you like to know? So the building we're in is called the Ibeck. That's where we were sent by Harry and August to talk with the twins and maybe discover something about the recent string of murders of hunters that's been happening. So I think this is one of the choices where it doesn't really matter what I pick. I will be able to ask both of them. It's just whether you want to like jump right in and be like, do you know about the murders? Or like ask them a personal question and then ease into it. I like to ease into it. Let's hear a bit more about the Ibeck. I clear my throat, trying not to be distracted by their unnatural stillness. Can you explain to me what you do and why? They share a look, and Amaros nods once under his sister's ice-cold gaze. Our purpose is simple. We spread the word of the night, of those that are oppressed and murdered in cold blood. Okay, that's delightful. A chastity belt. He probably does. I'm sorry, I just saw that. He does look like he's wearing like a chastity belt, like something that's restrictive. Something real kinky underneath that suit, and I want to see it. And who exactly are the oppressed? She giggles, the sound musical, but edging on maniacal. I would pay good money to hear the laughter of this woman. It sounds terrifying. The creatures, of course. I look at Amaros, and he drops his gaze, color sweeping across his pale cheeks. I don't see any blush. Is my answer not satisfying, Hunter Brown? Surely you know that the institution that you serve brings harm to the innocents. That the creatures that you kill are nothing more than confused and lost, merely looking for salvation. I pause carefully, contemplating my response. My adult life has consisted of seeing bloodthirsty creatures trying to mindlessly murder innocent people, and in turn trying to kill me as I protect them. I see no desire for salvation in that. I appreciate that there are creatures who don't intend to harm anyone, even some that are kinder than most humans. But, I smile again and take a deep breath. But I cannot bring myself to understand how you can so blindly support the slaughter of your own people. Amaros frowns deeply, and I swear I see him shaking his head at me, but it's just subtle enough for his sister not to notice. He's trying to save my life, and I'm over here just like poking the bear, and he's like, don't do it, no. Because humans are inferior and pathetic. We infest and corrupt the earth by dedicating our time and resources to ridding it of the only things that give our wretched species any hope. She inhaled sharply, calming herself and brushing her hands over the front of her skirt. So, Hunter Brown, to answer your question, we are here to protect the creatures, just as you are here to destroy them. What do you know about the murders? I'm sure you're very aware of the recent murders in the area. Can you tell me anything that may be of use to my investigation? Aurora steals her gaze, unblinking, her fingers clasped tightly in front of her. We saw nothing, and we have an alibi. The lady doth protest too much. Or, sorry, brother is talking, not the sister. I'm so used to the sister talking that him talking is just so out of scope. I look at Amaros, startled that he actually spoke. His voice is strangely soft and comforting. Me too. I did not expect him to speak. Regardless, his words sound practiced and rehearsed. He looks nervous, like he'd rather be anywhere else but here, and his eyes keep darting to the door behind me. See, I don't trust this. Nothing at all? You're stationed right beside the graveyard where the last hunter's body was discovered. You're telling me you didn't hear anything? He was brutally murdered, set alight, and burned to ash, and yet he didn't scream or call for help? Yeah, that's suspicious. I don't believe it either. Them and Harry. These two and Harry. Don't trust any of them. Aurora's lip curls at the corner, her eyes turning dark. My brother speaks the truth, Hunter Brown. Question us all you like, but we've been through this with your insufferable predecessor. Just like Harry said, they apparently have an ironclad alibi, but my suspicion does not waver. I nod once, noticing Amarose's gaze burning into me, and though I cannot gauge how he's feeling, my gut tells me he has something to say. Something he wouldn't dare. I'm sorry, I kept wanting that word to be do and not to. Dare to with his sister by his side. Like he's scared. I'm starting to feel like Harry sent me here just to unnerve me. Surely he knew this was what I would be faced with. I still have little to nothing to work with here, and as the twins continue to stare me down, I think about his parting words. Suspect everyone, question everything. You truly have nothing else to say regarding the situation? Aurora stands firm, her lips curling into that wolfish grin once more. Not a thing. It was ever so wonderful to make your acquaintance, though. Truly. Do stop by again. Our doors are open to everyone. We're more than happy to accommodate you. Should your agency need to question us further for a third time. Oh, they're so snarky. Ambrose gives me a look again, and I wonder if it would be possible to somehow get him alone. I have a feeling I'd get a lot more out of him than I have from her. Thank you, Aurora. Ambrose. On my way out, I see a small, neatly wrapped package sitting on the doorstep. I bend down to check the label, and written on it in elegant script are the words, I am not even going to try. And Ambrose's name, paired with a small heart. Yeah, it's an Amazon. It's an Otome game delivery from Amazon. Amazon does that. Just leave a package. No knock, no nothing. I may not know what it means, but I know a demonic language when I see one. Just as I suspect there might be more to Ambrose Woodridge than meets the eye. All right. Chapter 1 is proving to be way longer than I thought it was going to be, and since we just talked with the creepy twins, I am going to end things here. Nice little place to stop. We got the information we cut out of them. We got a mysterious package. We've got some murders that we need to solve. We've got creepy bosses and sexy bosses. We've got hot people just hanging around Lunaris all day, all night. And we met all of the available romanceable characters so far. So I think this is a good stopping point. It's also almost 1 o'clock in the morning here, Eastern time, and I die. So, okay, so I guess thank you, they took out, so they must have taken out the chapter dividers when they combined it into one story, and got rid of the episodic thing. So this is actually a perfect place to stop. Chapter 2, look at that. I unintentionally stopped at chapter 2. But I guess my weariness was just like, this is the time, stop. It just instinctively knew that this was chapter 2. I'm going to save because I don't want to lose this place. I'm going to save that right there. Cool. And I want to thank you guys for joining me on my very first stream of When the Night Comes ReVamped. This was a lot of fun. Even though you can't see my face, it is absolutely terrifying to do something like this, knowing that people are actually watching you and listening, and I can kind of like see how many people are watching, so it's a little like unnerving for me personally, but This was definitely a lot of fun. It was a nice way to kind of get out of my comfort zone, and especially with a game like When the Night Comes Revamp. I love everything that Lunaris Games has put out, and it's a lot of fun. It is coming out soon. They said late spring, and it's May here, so technically May is late spring, so who knows, May, early June, possibly, hopefully, fingers crossed. But this is just a sneak peek of When the Night Comes Revamped. This just consists of the first 2 chapters, and I'm doing this for you guys. I wanted to share this with you guys because there's so many great features that have been added to this version of the game that were not in it when it was done episodically. It was, it's much improved artwork, expanded dialogue and story. You've got the voice acting it's partially voiced by a full English cast, and there are some really notable names among the voice actors for this title. I believe Chris Patton, Jill, one of the watchers, she looked up and said that he's done some extensive anime voiceover work in English. So we've got a really stellar cast here, and all of the folks that I've heard so far are just divine. I love them all, and I hope to hear more of them and see more of the story unfold as we move forward. I will probably do this again. I don't know if we'll do a continuation of When the Night Comes Revamp. Depends on when I do it, because the game might actually be out by then. Just to get the rest of these 2 chapters out of the way, just to kind of get a really good feel for that opening. But I think this is a really good stopping point. And yeah, I feel like I'm rambling, but thank you guys. Again, my name is Naja B. I go by Blurdy Otome. This is my very first stream. You can find me on Twitter. My Twitter is weird. It's my name in reverse. It's @BeckNaja, and everywhere else it's Blurdy Otome because branding. I also run the gaming review site Blurdy Otome, where you can get written reviews and things like that fairly regularly, interviews, stuff, just stop by, say hey. If you want to say hey to me on Instagram and look at my pretty pictures that I take of all my manga and games, again, it's Blurdy Otome, just find me there. But that will be it for me for the night. Again, you guys are awesome. Thank you for the amazing feedback. Thank you guys for just being so awesome. Thank you to the bot that showed up, because that bot was the real MVP. And yeah, I'm gonna call it a morning, because it's technically Friday morning right now. Yes, thank you guys. I try to keep it chill. That is always the ultimate vibe. And thank you for putting up with my sailor's mouth. I swear like a sailor. So again, if you want to contact me, definitely drop me a line. I will definitely be doing this again sometime. Don't know when, probably next week. We'll see. I will see you guys elsewhere. All right, bye.